Yep, so we know where we are. Okay, you have all, crew of the Dawn's Eclipse, undertaken a great and very altruistic mission to cure the plague of star beasts happening here in realm space. It seems like the Kandori, celestial whale-like beings that travel through wild space in the astral sea, are suffering from some kind of strange plague. You have all contracted the services of Griffin Broadleaf, a strange sort of hermited druid from one of the moons of Garden. And he is on board to help you guys alchemically create this cure you want to make. So you've been traveling around Garden, acquiring the necessary tools, some specialty alchemical items, and have recently found yourself here on the moon of what I'm going to pronounce it as Pikion, an abandoned moon, a small one at that, that has similarly an abandoned elvish outpost, one that seems like a almost like a long-term town than an actual military outpost of some kind, and it has been long abandoned since the War of Revenge, the Second Unhuman War. You found yourselves deep, deep down inside of the bowels underneath, having discovered that this was no mere outpost, but indeed it covered the laboratory of Dr. Winzinski or Wintisky, um, the the strange artificiary gnomish guy who helped out around the Unhuman War for the Elven Armada. He went down and found these strangely bare bone created what they call exopoxy units, which have very basic functionality, but do have similarities to your own apoxy. And it was through the persuasions of the party that you were able to contract the services of these wayward fellows, as they wanted answers, they wanted knowledge of their creation and their creator. And with that promise, they have seen it worthy to help you guys out. And having a little bit of a robot crew that doesn't seem to know much about money isn't the worst thing to have. You don't need to feed them, barely need to house them, they don't need to breathe. Probably don't have to pay them unless you were willing to teach them about economy and and then pay them. Um, so all good things, and yeah, you found yourselves down there, and I believe there was some interest in using this abandoned outpost for your own desires. But in the meantime, let us pick our session up from that. So you have been down into the doctor's laboratory. You have treated with the exo units 1 through 7. What would you like to do? It is worth noting, I believe one person, I think it was Chaplin, was taking directives from a animal messenger sent by Griffin as his claustrophobia didn't allow him to enter the basement. And it seems that the correct tools have indeed been acquired at this time. So Griffin seems satisfied as a constant sort of stream of small woodland creatures sort of enters the basement, gives an order, and runs away, and another one shows up and runs away. But in the end, Chaplin, he seems content with a various number of delicate items that you've acquired.
Okay, well, it seems like we have everything that the druid wants.
Indeed, I think it's time we return to the Dawn's Eclipse and report the good results to the captain.
Oh yeah, excellent. Um, incredible. I had a moment there where I almost became Ed for a second, realized Ed was here today, so I didn't do that. Incredible. So yeah, you guys want to just start heading back? Apox, you will say to Zalace, of course, say, Master, what should I do? Should I stay with the exo units or should we load them into the ship?
Well, I think the deal that we made with them was they were going to come with us. But
Okay.
again, it's your choice on what you want to do.
They look around and say, if there was some, if you all wanted to keep this outpost, I think that was said, I could hang back with the exo units and teach them of our evil master. And also secure the outpost for the Dawn's Eclipse.
I think keeping the outpost safe, maybe not teaching them anything else, but just keep the outpost safe.
Aye. I could also do this by myself because I am very strong and scary and capable. But whatever you all want me to do, I am at the service of the captain and our evil master.
I think maybe if you want to stay here and look after the place and do whatever you need to do on that front, we can take the APs and train them up in the proper way.
I do want to look through the doctor's laboratory, so this does actually work out very well. I'll have to approve with the captain, but yes, maybe I'll hang back and keep the place for the Dawn's Eclipse.
Sounds like a good idea, Epoxy.
All right. Aye. And with that, whistling like the seven dwarves, the epoxy units will appear out into the sunlight and will form a merry line and literally march like in perfect synchronicity, like the Korean military, and we'll just like follow you guys along towards the ship. Yeah, you guys want to all make your way back to the Dawn's Eclipse?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Griffin goes through the various things that you have, Chaplain, and he like looks them over and he goes, "Tis in great repair, tis in great repair indeed." And he's very content with all of the things that he brought. And quickly enough, you guys make your way down the way. Ed, uh, I have like a Homer Simpson like mental image of like you in your underwear with like a cup of coffee, just like off the bow of the ship, just like ah. And you'll see the crew returning, throwing some pants, and that's not actually what happens, of course. I just it's my mental image. And yeah, you see them appearing with seven other less impressive, not nearly as intensely upgraded or personalized as Epoxy, but seven mostly identical, other than scrap armor and whatnot's approaching. And I imagine your little artificer brain goes, woohoo! And yeah, the crew returns.
Oh, seven. After a few. Probably seven epoxies. Kind of. Epoxy siblings. They do kind of. Well, what is this, Ethner?
Oh, well, these are the exopoxy units. They are,
Huh.
let's call them older siblings of epoxy. They're not quite as, they lack a bit in the personality department, but they are just as capable. They can speak, move, do whatever you ask them to, and they don't need to
Prototype.
eat, sleep, or any of the other things the epoxy can do. So they're ideal for manning the ship.
Huh. Then we can teach one of them to cook.
They are capable of learning. I hope.
We are capable of learning.
There you go.
Yeah, and Ed steps around and like takes like a more like an observant, sort of like three like back and forth, kind of
They
like
definitely like all
mind.
stand in a line. Again, very almost military-like as they're like still and unbreathing as they stand side by side. And again, they're identical in creation, for the most part. But they are all sort of bearing various like scrap weapons and like furred hides and like patches of metal that are just strapped to their body for makeshift armor to cover up their internals.
They
Game Boys to Apoxy's Game Boy Color. Gotcha.
they also behave sort of like a hive mind. So I think if you teach one to cook, the rest might just pick it up themselves.
Unit 1 will go negative. We are not of a hive mind. We can communicate mentally, but we do not share experience mentally.
Oh well, can't have everything we want.
So
Uh,
Zalation dig around in his bag and take out some paper. Walk up to Ed and just say, maybe these will help. And they're epoxy blueprint.
Yeah, you open these up, and very much like Iron Man 1 when he's making like the Mark 1 suit in the cave, you see these like various pages, designs of the internal pieces of epoxy units. Epoxy has a lot more plating and installed weaponry and upgrades and stuff like that, and is definitely a highly advanced like Mark 47 situation. But this is the blueprints for what would be like uh, the other units, sort of like Mark 1s, basically.
Ed's definitely gonna keep these handy. Thank you, Zoe. That's definitely gonna put these to use. Where's and Ed's looking around for Apoxy himself.
Yeah, Apoxy says, I am here, Captain.
Hey, Pox, how's it feel? Like, you found more of yourself, kind of.
For some
Uh,
reason I can't explain, I feel like I should immediately abandon them and stay here and keep an eye on the outpost instead.
huh.
I
Yeah,
know, an unexpected reaction, frankly.
yeah, well, I've learned to trust your natural instinct for better or worse, Dave Foxy, and if you feel that's right, well, it seems not quite an equal swap, but a fair one, I suppose.
May I make a request, Captain, if I am to stay behind and keep an eye on the outpost for the Dawn's Eclipse?
Of course.
She'll look back at the exo units and look back, and she'll say, the exo units have the ability to adapt their personality modulators depending on who they spend a lot of time around. I would like to request that one of them remain behind with me so I can have some company.
Of course. That'll just assign like the nearest one. Here, this is let's call them Pax. Yeah, Pax and Fox. Yeah, yeah, pretty fun. I
Pax.
had a lot of sleep.
It goes Pax. And then it'll be like inputting nickname into subroutines. Pax,
Yeah,
exo units, 7, henceforth, Hawks.
there you go. Now you have a buddy, and you guys play cards and whatnot. And we'll miss you, Apoxy. We will.
I will as well, Captain. Please come back soon. It'd be really cool if we could all hang out.
Absolutely. Once the job's done, and who knows, maybe we'll be here sooner.
That would be pretty awesome, Captain. I would like that a lot.
That offers a handshake.
Apoxy will put a hand out and shake your hand as well, slightly awkwardly.
Look forward to seeing you again, my friend.
And she will wave to the rest of the crew, and with Pax, was it?
Yeah, pack.
Pax at her side or at their side. Pax, aka Exopoxy Unit 7, will depart with Apoxy to keep an eye on the outpost for the Dawn's Eclipse. All right, I gotta write that down. But you guys still have 6 units of these Exopoxy units. You have swapped out your bestial warbot for definitely less impressive, but certainly more numerous poxy units. It's not a perfect exchange, but it is one nonetheless.
If I may, Captain, I'd like to speak to you just momentarily in private.
Yeah, let's all get aboard. Get them Zelace, why don't you sort the boxy units once we're aboard, get them somewhere somewhere they can, linger around before we assign official roles. Chaplain can join you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Okay.
All right. The various units immediately start moving in the direction and just start being like generally helpful as they can. Goodbye, Foxy. No. Okay. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, people start loading up, and you two take a step aside. No problem.
What's on your mind, Andrew?
Well, 2 things. One is that the negotiated condition for them joining the crew is that we would devote some effort into finding their creator, a one Dr. Wininski.
All right.
And in a sense, I don't think that's necessarily the worst thread to follow. They are someone capable of creating, dare I say, war machines. And if we can get to them, they might be a valuable asset. But there's no rush, more just suggesting that if we ever find ourselves at a loss of something to do, looking for this Wininski might be a potential venture.
No, I agree. Let's put that up on the docket after we handle this cure. But I think getting that done sooner rather than later is in the best interest. Sure.
There is also a loose concern that if I were in the prophet's shoes, I would think acquiring a mind like Dr. Wininski would be a high priority, particularly as there's precedent in terms of targeting your family.
I considered but might be right. And that makes me want to go there much sooner.
Coach, you found something in that scoring drive. How do you bottle it?
But I wonder if well, there's one thing. Were these units stored away, or were they taken? Or were they abandoned?
Abandoned, by as far as I could tell. The compound itself was. There was little to left behind, and if anything, it looked like the former occupants had left in quite the rush, really. The little in the way of loot, and these units were all that remained in the lab. They mentioned reading through every bit of text they could find in the lab, but they hadn't ventured much outside of it.
Why leave behind such impressive units?
My guess is they are Well, I suppose if we compare them to epoxy, they are inferior designs by quite a wide margin. So I imagine this Wininski may have more advanced ones with them, and saw no reason to keep these less impressive versions.
That's fair, but well, consider where we found Apox. Found them in the marketplace, not too far from abandonment themselves. I'm sensing a pattern here, but not sure if I like or enjoy. But I can't say much, but because my family, we fled from our war hundreds of times, especially during war times. So.
Speaking of war, this area was once under Elven Armada control, so Wininski, at least one point in time, was working for the elves. Don't know if that's still the case.
Wonder if the son has good connection with the Elven Armada, doesn't she? Or was it just the captain? Neither you or me need manable well, so but in any case, that might be worth talking to them to see if we can get any tips or where this Lewinsky is. Or who this Lewinsky is.
I did ask. Well, epoxy was both a very useful wellspring of information and a completely locked vault. Epoxy themselves had some information about this, but a lot of it was, in their words, classified. The activities and location of this Wininski are being purposefully kept a secret.
That's uncomfortably relatable. All right, let's uh let's try and get in contact with the Armada regardless. See what we can start connecting. What
I'll
else? Maybe these will be 2 hours worth having.
I'll do my best to look into that once our business with the Kindori plague is concluded.
Thank you, Elder. I appreciate you picking up a lot of the extra demands of his extra job, so it's appreciated and noted.
It is my pleasure. I'm here to serve and aid in your efforts.
And when you get a chance, check in on Zalace. Zalace and Apox are very close. Imagine, having a friend at the state behind. Just see how he's doing. Go from there.
That's really kind of like looks off to the side. I'm not sure I'm the best fit for talking to Zalace. I don't think they trust me very much, and if I'm being totally honest, I don't trust them either.
It almost makes me want to see you team talk myself. In any case, see to it out there and see what happens. And he taps up their shoulder.
I think you should take Zalace, Captain. He seems to be very fond of you.
And I plan to after he speaks to you. Now then, let's all get aboard.
You
just
cheeky bastard.
Just kind of looks out of the floor, like, yes, Captain. Whatever you say, Captain. I'm totally on board with this.
Yeah.
Gets aboard.
All right, Etherith goes looking for Zalace at the command of the captain. Is there anything that Zalace, Chaplet, or Bassan might be up to?
I think I'll just be trying to corral the AP units into a a space around. I would imagine the only place that there is at the moment would be where the vehicle is, so they can try and pile in there somewhere and just stand around.
Your ship acts like your docking bay is getting very full very quick. You guys have Ed's little project in just sort of scrapped in there. Now you have like a bunch of robots standing around. It is getting to be very, very hard to enter or exit the ship, or even the cargo bay for that matter. But it is possible. Is a lot, very difficult. I think maybe you catch at some point Ed Jordan saying something about a fire hazard. But it's you probably all start taking to like using the rope ladders off the side instead. But yeah, they all file in there, and they do fit there. They're not creatures of great want or need as of yet. But yeah, they all file in without issue. What about the rest of you guys?
So Visan would like to go talk to the druid and ask to see a favorite animal and try to improve her paper folding skills with her brain.
Certainly. The druid says, I am the great favor of all of my good friends. To pick one would offend the others, but between me and you, in this here speech that belongs to only those of us of two legs, I am quite fond of the weasel. And he will summon forth a little weasel that'll sort of like come up and sort of do a little like weasel sniff in the air.
The weasel can kind of pose and she'll like try to fold and it's all practicing with her mage hands and her psionics, but she'll try to fold to make it articulate really particularly well. Like she'll try to make the paper eventually kind of do a little like mirror dance with the weasel.
Yeah, the little weasel just kind of like it's like his little button legs just sort of like anchor him, but the top of his body just kind of like sort of like and like while you're doing the folding, it like puts its little paws on your knee and kind of like looks over your knee at the folding thing and kind of sort of like looks quizzically at what you're doing and maybe starts like playing with it or like while you're folding it kind of like jumps through the air to try and like catch it and you fold it into it and yeah you play with the little weasel guy. Make me a I think we were doing intelligence sleight of hands, were we not? Yep, go for it.
All right, you know what? I'm going to use Bisan's dice. She has a dice, has been misbehaving. We're going to try it again. Don't fuck me.
Don't fuck me, Gil.
That's respectable. That's respectable because that was a 16. Intelligence-based sleight of hand. Could we just do a sleight of hand? Just like a regular old sleight of hand?
You are using the power of your mind and not your fingers, unfortunately.
Oh no. Okay, so that's fine. So it's dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That's very good. Yeah, surprising maybe even yourself. You are you proficient with sleight of hand? No.
I don't.
Surprising yourself with the proficiency of your mind. Yeah, you fold the little guy around and you're really getting used to this. And you're really starting to do a really good job. And yeah, you fold yourself a little weasel. It doesn't do so good with like swaying too much because that'll revolve around you having to like refold it. Which maybe you do a bunch of times, but it does cause a bit of a strain. It isn't like a fun flowing thing for you. But you do indeed fold a very believable and easy to look at and know what it is weasel.
Huzzah. And that is what Son would do while they were off doing important things.
Excellent. Well, what about Chaplain? Chaplain, you've got, I believe, a mouse, a bear, and a lion at your beck and call as a reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, I put my stake back. I also have all of the parts that we rescued from the laboratory for the druid, so I guess I'll deliver those.
Yeah, the
All the lab
druid,
equipment.
absolutely. The druid's very happy about that, and I think starts rearranging your crafting room that Ed had set up. He starts like literally like having he sees some of the epoxy units are like moving the anvil out and like dropping it in the middle of like the deck and like unloading like a number of like tool sets and stuff onto the deck into like a little pile. And then he starts bringing in all of his alchemy equipment very happily. And yeah, starts setting up shop in there. The epoxy units being very much like computers, where they are very, very good at performing tasks, but not very good at like knowing, like sort of go getting and like taking initiative. Like they need input, they need to put the command in for them to do stuff. So they kind of like dump it all on the thing, and they just kind of like stand there. And I think all of you who are experienced shipmates to some degree would be like, okay, let's go put it in a box. They just kind of like stand right next to the pile and don't do anything else. They got it out of there really quick and fast and everything, but now they're just kind of standing there and all these loose items are rolling around the deck and they don't seem to mind at all. And Griffin goes to like working away and setting up his alchemy equipment and attaching all of these new features and having the pox units bring in these barrels of the one barrel of Kandori fluid and various other implements he's picked up here and there, and is getting down to work on this antidote.
Yeah, I think Chaplin would kind of act as sort of a liaison intermediary between the epoxy units and Griffin while he's working, to kind of smooth over that disconnect between them needing input and needing something or someone that's a little bit more intuitive to be able to directly assist while he works.
As you approach, one of them like looks at you, and their eyes sort of flicker, and you like hear them in your head, and we'll say like basically speaking to you in binary, but you interpret it. We can interpret it. But these, for all of their simplicity, they do seem to have some kind of like radio power or something like that, some kind of like automaton to automaton communication ability. And they sort of like this one inputs a message into your brain, basically says, how can we be of assistance?
And
Right on.
Chaplin will think back. He's not entirely sure how this process works, but he'll attempt to think back. Oh, well, that's very handy. I suppose we don't have to verbalize it all then. And he'll begin trying to communicate simple tasks to the first one to see if this is an effective means of communication for him with them.
Absolutely. And to be clear, you don't have any sort of ability like this. It seems that they're almost as if they were, like, to put it in like humanoid psionic terms, it's almost like they're telepathic
Right.
in a way, but through automaton. So yeah, you communicate them like, can we put these in boxes? And they go immediately, and we'll go and find like an empty box and come over and then put them all into boxes and close it and like nail it shut, and then leave the box sitting in the middle of the deck. So task half done.
Right. Right. So yeah, I think being Chaplin, this is probably semi amusing, and he's not easily irritated. So
Yeah.
he's probably this is probably good for him because he probably has kind of a superhuman amount of patience with the fact that these things are being these commands are being taken very literally and are being performed in a very limited fashion. So he probably spends time like speaking out each individual command. Okay, now pick up that box and set it over on that table.
And they do, exactly. They're very precise and do exactly as you told, but they are very precise and do exactly what they're told. So they do that, and then they sort of look back at you for whatever next command or possibly affirmation. One of them says, "Right on."
So yeah, like I say, I guess he'll probably then kind of play the liaison between the druid as he's working and the epoxy unit. So if the druid's like, I don't know, whatever, give me that, that bolt over there or whatever, then Chaplain would be like, okay, pick up that bolt, bring it over to me, put it in my hand, and right, and walk them through each step of the process so that the druid basically doesn't have to occupy himself with doing that.
Gotcha. They can connect some dots, like these, like yeah, an example being like, yeah, bring me that bolt from over there. Like they'll get that. They'll pick up the bolt and they'll bring it over and put it over there, and that'll be that. But yeah, it's like unless you fully complete, like unless it's like take all the stuff, take it out of this room, put it in a box, and put that box in the cargo hold. If you just say like get rid of everything here, they will. Who knows where it's gonna end up. But yeah, you walk them through and you see that at least these two units start to like. There's kind of like a flickering in their eyes as you're kind of like telling them the like you don't know how much they're learning, but maybe they are. Who knows? Incredible. Well, why don't we say at this time, Zalace, as you're wandering around, I think it's due time that you're approached by Ethereth.
Zelis, a moment, please.
What are you on?
Sorry.
Uh, Truth be told, the captain has asked me to check in on you since.
I'm good, yeah, thanks.
I'm sure I know that you and Apoxy were rather close. You whispered a lot to each other. It's very strange.
Well, we had a connection. A bit like we had before, but yeah, I think what she's doing is good for herself or themselves. So they can try and find out who created them. That was the mission that she was on in the first place. So yeah, I'm all good. Thanks very much. Anything else?
Can I roll insight? Are you actually okay?
Roll if you like.
11.
Okay, I rolled an 18 on the dice.
Okay. Oh, good to hear you're okay. I'm glad you're taking this well.
Okay. Thanks, then.
The captain might be by. He said he dropped by, but I don't know when. Anyway, have a nice day.
Uh-huh. See you later.
We'll just go.
So I will say it's something I've been thinking about, just so you guys are aware. Normally when I've handled insight checks, like if you fail an insight check, it's just like, you don't really get anything. You can decide how you take it. But I think going forward, if you fail the insight check, you're going to get misinformation because we all know, I think in the real world, people can misinterpret things and insight isn't a foolproof skill. So I think that will help reinforce the idea that insight isn't always perfect and insight can lead to good results and bad results if you look too deeply. So just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
So in this moment, Ethereth, you're like, yeah, no, Zalace is fine. Like totally. Yeah.
So, I would like to go and find Basan though.
Very easily, you look over and see Basan playing with a little weasel and floating a little paper mache weasel through the air, like as if, like you would never say it to her face, but almost as if she were like playing with her action figures and hanging out with her pets and just kind of being like a teenage kid yank or gets around. And yeah, you can wander on over if you want.
Bisan, I thought I'd just check in. We haven't had a proper conversation in a while.
It's been a while. How are you?
Could use a break, really. But I well, lately I've been noticing you've been doing, I suppose, artistic ventures.
Yes and no. And she's gonna make the weasel like do a rockety sort of thing.
Does Bisan go make like little sound effects?
No, but she has to really control herself not to. Takes a certain amount of self-control.
Fair enough.
I'm practicing mind stuff.
Oh, sort of mental dexterity.
And un uh she'll unravel the ferret, and there is a picture that she'd sketched of the ferret kind of posing around. And she'll say, I've been thinking about magic. It's not words, right? It's there's something to manipulate. And then she just kind of just shakes her head and point like she's clearly not able to communicate what she's thinking, but
Magic is it's a very complicated thing. I mean, for me, it's something, I don't know, instinctive. The words and the movements come, and I don't know, impose my will upon the world. But I suppose for a learned wizard, it's more, I don't know, a application to something learned, sort of like recalling information from a book.
it's discipline, just like anything else you learn.
Yes, I think. And I'd also say it's like or at least for me, something of a muscle. The more I use it, the better I get at it. Even as I've been traveling with all of you, I've felt that the more I perform feats of magic, I don't know, the stronger I start to feel, the more adept I feel at performing things I couldn't do before.
I'm trying to get better.
Well, that's good. And I self-improvement is something I strongly encourage.
And she's going to take out a sheet of paper and fold a dragon
Ooh.
with articulating wings and then make it fly. Or try to, because there's probably roll involved.
Sure, right ahead.
Oh, sweet. All right, so it's gonna be an 18.
Easily done. You're getting pretty good at this. The DC is starting to lower quicker and quicker. The more proficient you are becoming at this particular mental exercise.
Very impressive.
Discipline.
So it stares at like this dragon, like paper dragon for a while. I do miss my wings.
And Bisan just kind of nods and said, "It was spectacular."
Perhaps I'll have to, at some point, try my hand at some flight magic. So back at the dragon that we did find, I do believe, did I see you sketching?
I was sketching the dragon, playing chess with Chaplin.
Oh, that's what happened. I truly could not quite.
It
There
was
was a
like,
lot.
it's like chess, but not chess. It's illithid chess like game thing.
It's just that when I got back with the barrel, there was a lot to see. I
A
saw
lot.
you with the paper, and Chaplin had, well, at that point, a sort of knocked over board. A lot to piece together in a moment.
It was a lot. I'm glad we're alive.
I am too.
Do we need to start locking up the halfling?
I
Just maybe one of us, like Buddy. One of us buddies the halfling. Just to keep him safe. Just to keep him safe.
maybe I
And Bisan kind of chuckles. It was almost cool.
I did speak to Zalace when I could find him, after the whole thing, and let's say eager to help, I think was the result. Just trying to aid us,
I know.
which is, a noble effort.
It was almost cool.
Well,
She smiles, kind of proud of her friend. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. You gotta respect the hustle.
well, I'm going to go find the druid and see if I can't pick up some extra alchemy tips while they're working on this cure.
I'm gonna go stand by the ballista. There's not a lot of room to maneuver at this point, so she probably needs to be where she needs to be in case she needs to be there, because it's gonna take, like, is it rough terrain right now? Just with all the people away.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, I think you see Joran who's like huffing and like genuinely like, I don't want to use the word annoyed, but certainly, or anxious, but maybe somewhere in the middle of those two. Because like, yeah, there's like rats and ferrets and foxes, and now there's like these apox units that are just kind of like dinging around a little bit. And yeah, your ship is a little overpacked for its size at this point.
Bigger ship.
But yeah, you guys are all like walking around a little carefully. It would be a bit of a mess if you guys got into a battle anytime soon. Or some rodents would go flying, probably at least.
I'm gonna go park by a ballista.
Well, actually, I wouldn't call this difficult terrain because technically the rules are that tiny creatures, you can move through like the space of a creature that two sizes smaller than you with ease. And Zalace, being the only small creature, can move through other people's spaces without issue. So like you guys on like when you look at the scene, you're like, yeah, this is bad. Maybe for you, Chaplin, it's a little difficult, but when you're looking at the scene, you guys are like, yeah, this is tricky. But largely, they get all out of your way and whatnot. But Chaplin, I would say you probably solely are having trouble moving about the ship with all of the creatures and everything saturating. Okay, at this point, you know, Ed's not here anymore. Yeah,
He's trying to get back.
Selena is trying to get back. All right, cool. Celine and Alara are just like hanging up on like the foredeck and just kind of like Alira's like hanging off the railing and Celine's like kind of like giggling at something she said, and they're usually both pretty. Not Alira. She's not that hard a worker, but Celine usually is a pretty hard worker, but she's just kind of seemingly a little interested in other things right now. Griffin's hard at work. The smell of tobacco, stale tobacco smoke, is still very as strong as ever. Um, and I think I'll just take the reins for a second, and Ed will appear on the deck. You'll see Celine kind of trying to go, hey, Celine, can we start getting up out of the plan now? We got places to be and things to do, you know? And she goes, oh, right, sorry, Captain. And she'll walk away, and Leo will give her a little like on the booty, and she'll kind of and she'll walk away to go tend to the Spelljammer helm. Zalisa I saw a hand.
Yeah, sorry. So just a table question. So if we're on a planet of sort, would that bubble that we would have when we're flying in space, would that not leave us and then it would refresh the air that we've got?
Yes, absolutely.
I was only asking, I wasn't quite sure, that's why I asked.
No, you're absolutely right. An air envelope will refresh when it comes into contact with a larger one, especially a planet. So yeah, the moment you guys entered the atmosphere, you entered like the air envelope of the planet and refreshed your own envelope. So yeah, the breathing is much. You still smell it, but you're not like struggling to breathe or feeling like you're in soggy air by any means. Yeah. If anything, this is the freshest air you've had in a little while because it's got that
So
sort of
it's
wintry air.
like walking into someone that smokes in the house, you smell that smoke straight away, sort of.
Exactly. Yeah, you guys are refreshed right now. But I will say the trip from the Rock of Brawl to here, by the end, you guys were looking a little green around the gills, maybe. But you're good now.
Can I, as there's been no movement on this smoking and tobacco, can I steal the tobacco?
You most certainly can try. All right. You make your way below deck to find your way to the cook's cabin. Well, where are you going? Are you going to her cabin? Are you going to her bunk? Where are you going?
Well, would we? So if we're getting the smell all the time, it's a constant thing. So I'm going to say that the cook's most probably got that tobacco on them. You know,
Okay.
someone that smokes constantly like that would have their tobacco or cigarettes or whatever on them.
Fair enough.
So I imagine it would be wherever the cook is.
All right, fair enough. Okay, you make your way below deck, making your way closer to the kitchens where the smell of food and tobacco grows more and more prevalent. Go ahead and make me a stealth check to start.
Whoa, advantage. 28.
28. Yes, you are exceptionally stealthy. One of the Hawks units sort of comes by and sort of like sees you creeping down the hall, and then just kind of goes back to work, doesn't mind at all. But you're very quiet and very stealthy, and you creak the door open, and you see Thelma working away, going and stirring some stew, and turns to the side. Why don't you make me a perception check to look around, see if you can find to see where you can find her elements, her tools of the trade.
So good. What's that? 13.
Sorry. 13. You find that you find like a little leather pouch that is sitting off to the side. You expect that is the source of her vice. If you want to make your way in and try and snatch it before she turns around, Make me a sleight of hand check to complete the job.
15.
15, easy as can be. You slip in, you just take it off, come back out, close the door, and quickly make your way down the hall before she's any the wiser. Given how much he smokes, she'll probably realize it's gone in a couple short minutes, but more than enough time to make away. What do you want to do with the smoke pouch, if anything?
I'm just gonna hide it around near my bunk, but not in my bunk. So actually, no, I have an even better idea. I'm gonna place it on Etheric.
Love it. Okay. Are you intending to approach Etherith sort of like socially and be like, hey, what's up? Maybe like pat him on the shoulder, or you want to make sure he is completely unaware of your approach?
No, I think I'll approach him. I'll approach him on the premise of making amends for being short with him earlier.
Okay, you go for the sorry. You go for the social stealth option. All right, you approach Etherith. Etherith, you're doing your thing somewhere on the ship, and Zalace approaches you.
Etheric,
Oh, Zelius, what can I help you with?
listen, I was a bit short with you earlier. Maybe I wasn't as truthful about Epoxy leaving. Yes, we were friends. She sort of clung to me in a way that I've never had a friendship. So in that way, where someone's constantly with you, we've been around, we've done a lot, we've been through a lot. I was still a bit upset. I just didn't want anybody to know. So I just wanted to apologize for that.
Oh, it's no trouble. It's perfectly normal to feel that way.
I know, but I'm not used to it in that way. So again, I'm sorry. All right. Thanks very much. And what are you up to? Can I help?
Oh, I was just about to go and meet with the druid and see if I couldn't pick up some alchemy tips. I'm studying.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, come on, I'll walk with you.
At this, you want to make a sleight of hand check at this point? So
Yeah.
we'll say as you walk, like one of the pox units walks by, maybe gives you your window. Go ahead and give it a shot.
23.
What's your passive perception after it?
13, so yeah, that easily beats it.
Zalace, you are able to gingerly attach the smoke pouch to the back belt of Etherith under his robes, or loosely under his robes, while this pox unit makes its way by on the crowded deck of the ship. And mission successful.
Huzzah.
Yeah, you walk with him the 20 feet it is to get over to the other side of the deck, because this is not the biggest deck in all of the ships in all the world. And yeah, you walk in there, Etherith, and you see Griffin's like installing these new items, sort of like adding to the various beakers and whatnots. Chaplain?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll go when you're done.
Yeah, and that's all. The Griffin's
yeah.
just hard at work. He's just affixing these new attachments to his alchemy set and preparing to do some brewing. But yeah, go ahead, Chop.
Oh, okay. Well, if he's done with the AP units, I'm gonna gather them all together. And again, Chaplin seemingly has limitless patience with this sort of thing. So he like one by one gathers all the AP units on the deck. And if there's especially if there are kind of opposing entrances on either side of the deck facing each other, doorways. He's going to create kind of like a stage for himself and begin and begin choreographing sort of like a musical dance number with the
Oh
AP
fuck.
units.
Incredible. Absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, um, tell you what, while I'm setting that up, I just want to I'll finish off with Ethereth here, in Zalace. So you get in there, Ethereth. Is there anything you wanted to say or do?
Uh, um, uh, fuck his name. I've just
Work
forgotten
away.
his. Okay. Broadleaf.
Griffin.
I hoped I could sit in and maybe perhaps even help you with this last step for the uh vaccine, just for my own study.
Of course, a most exceptional lab assistant you have been. Come in, come in. Let's see if we cannot complete this antidote for the good Kandori. And he will tell you that he's definitely on the more complex portions of the creation now that he has his more specialized tools. And we'll be happy to show you what he knows. And despite his isolation and claustrophobia, he is an excited tutor, and it will happily show you the ropes. Sweet, and Zalace, you can kind of sort of
I'll
whistle.
just poke my head in and just say, is there anything you need or I can get you? I mean, I'll leave you alone, but that's fine if you don't.
Uh, Griffin looks around. He goes, "I think, I think we are well supplied indeed with everything thine eye desires. Uh, very good, very good. Thank you, though. And yeah, and you can head out. Um, mission successful. You throw your sunglasses over your shoulder. The Who sounds off, and you turn around to see all the poxy units assembled on the deck, and Chaplain up on the foredeck. Doing what exactly, Chaplain?
He would be. He's trying very hard to like start laying the groundwork for figuring out like exactly. Basically, he's trying to create like a a routine in a number of different senses, right? Like a routine as in a dance routine for the for the AP units, but also the like a computer like subroutine. He's trying to figure out like what he needs to tell them in order to get them to do certain things at certain times. And so he's probably humming along and maybe using a little bit of thaumaturgy to create like different sounds and signals and stuff like that. But basically, he's going to attempt to, um, yeah, start beginning or start teaching them um, a little bit of choreography for a dance that he's essentially making up as he goes along. But it would be very theater-esque, right? Like he wants them to like enter from each side of the ship, or the front and back of the ship onto the deck at the kind of at the same time, right? And then kind of very dance line like, right? Very
Yeah.
Rockettes-esque. Yeah.
And as previously said, they're not very creative, shall we say? They're not very creative problem solvers by any means, if problem solvers at all. But they are very, very, very good at taking direction and remembering direction. So you're like, you realize it's a very like a computer program. You're like, okay, I want you to enter from this side. I want you to do this, do that, and like you show the
Right.
moves off, and immediately they do exactly what you asked. And if you make any minor adjustments, they're like, do those little adjustments, and then they'll implement it perfectly the next time. They're very, very good at taking direction. They're just not good at filling in the blanks. And within like, well, I'll tell you what, make me a performance check to to compose a dance routine for the Poxy units. Exo Poxy units.
Um, Sorry, it's rolling a little slow. Well, shoot. 12.
12. So you guys fly up into space and the lights all go out, and then the lamps on the deck turn up. And there's like one like chaplain right in the middle. And they all sort of come out with their hands on their hips and start doing the like whatever you tell them to do. And one does the like dirty dancing like this. But unfortunately, but again, it's very robotic. It's not like a great. It's not like a whoa, she's flying. It's very like there's no maybe the like the routine is perfect. It's exactly what you asked for, Chaplain. There's just no passion. These guys have no passion. They don't feel the music, you know. So while they perform it perfectly, it is very robotic and passionless as they make this performance. But they do look ridiculous. They like these like hardcore like war bots like dance around the deck and like do these things like pirouette and stuff across the deck as instructed.
I think, yeah, we would definitely get like a little bit of like Motown backup singers in there with like the
yeah,
and
doing some of these.
and yeah, definitely a kick line to finish the whole thing off for sure.
And they do it like and perfectly in sync, perfectly.
Right.
But again, just like fully flat faced, just like just fucking tossing them up there. And they're like remarkably flexible too because they don't have humanoid joints, so their kicks are like up there. It's impressive. So like they do what you tell them to. You're like, you guys are just not feeling it, and they're like, you're right. Like, they don't really understand what they're doing, but they do it anyway. It's really funny. I'd say take inspiration, but I already gave it to you.
Oh, I used it.
Oh, you used it. Take it back. Take it again. There you go. And with that, sure enough, you guys have left Pikion behind, flying off into wild space. Axebeard's gonna come up to you, Ed. He's gonna say, "Oh, Captain, I don't want to be the the one who's getting in the way of all the fun, but
it's your job.
It's getting a little crowded around here. There's rodents everywhere. The decks are covered in shite. The robots are dancing everywhere.
Six of them now.
There are so many hazards on this ship, Captain. I mean, what would happen if we needed to evacuate out the cargo hold with your new device? All due respect, your new project, and this ship is a mess, Captain. We need more space. I
too have thought about what exactly our ship would look like, say, if, we crashed onto a moon or something, all died, and then we just kind of looked in here. What story would that tell? And I think I got it, Jordan. We need a new ship. But
we need a lot more space, Captain. I know the previous captain was deeply considering one of them turtle ships. Although everyone was really on board for that.
I do think it's time for an upgrade. I'm thinking we wrap up the last of this druid business and get ourselves this upgrade. See what comes from the druid business. Hopefully that'll, maybe we could go even bigger than that turtle ship. And I think we got a lot of ranks now. Those robots, they're gonna hear us, but still gonna need some, guidance, as it were. So
I'll talk to the druid and see what's left on the docket for us to do to complete the job, and see if we can't. The druid's a very nice guy, but it'd be good if we could get all these creatures off the ship. It's how much cleaning has to be done. Anyway.
Absolutely, and I think the faster we finish our business with him, he's probably ready to get back to his where we found them and whatnot. So let's wrap up the druid business first. Jordan, have you seen my suit? You know, that,
Their suit?
yeah, me, got the lace got it for me. And I left it in the workshop there, and I just
Oh,
make
I think
sure.
I think Chaplin had the pox units moving some things off the deck. You might. Oh no, that's really not. And he'll start moving across the deck towards Chaplin. Chaplin, you'll get an earful about like, where did it go, lad? And he'll track down any of the boxes you had the pox units move, and then he'll find his way into the crafting room where you are, Athereth, and you'll hear them talk, and Griffin will say, "It should only take a couple of days to create the potential serum. Needs be find and capture a scaver or two or more, and then find a Kindori to cure. That should be the end all be all of our potential antidote." And at which point he'll return to you, Ed, just to clear that up. He says, "All right, what he says is we need to go out, we need to find some scavers, and then we need to go find some sick Kindori to potentially heal."
Scabbers and second door. All right, let's hit it.
All right, let's see if we can do it.
Get everyone
Now,
at stations. Let's get moving.
I agreed, aye, Captain. And he will say, "All right, everyone to stations," which means if you're not spelljamming, grab a mop, there's shit to clean. And he'll have all of you get to work swabbing the deck because it needs it. There's a lot of animals on this ship. But hey, fun fact, he's also probably, I need to double check and make sure. Here it is. After you guys are done swabbing for like maybe an hour or two, the whole crew, Jordan will say, "Looks really good. Now there's a bit of a reward. You see, if we are going to catch some scavers, the best way to do it," and he is going to pull out from behind the stairs a fishing rod, and say, "We're going to be needing to do some austral fishing if we intend to catch us any scavers. So," and he'll start throwing out fishing rods to everybody, start saying, "All right, off to work with you." Yeah, the crew is we're gonna do some fishing. We're gonna see who can catch a scaver or two. All right. Okay. So let us begin. We'll see how long it takes, but you guys are gonna start by spending about an hour, just fishing. I'm gonna say Alira's gonna go to her room for whatever reason. Just kind of get out of the way, honestly. The pox units are just gonna go stand around in the cargo hold, just to kind of get some people off the deck for ourselves here. And your crew, Etherith, you could be a part of this if you want, or you could kind of continue to follow Griffin's foundings.
I'll be studying Griffin.
Fair enough. So, Hassan, Ed, you wanna go fishing?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, Chaplin's going fishing, I presume.
Yeah.
And Zalace hopefully is going fishing too. Okay, so the first hour of fishing begins. I would like anyone who is fishing to roll me a survival check to see how well you fish. So you think you can fish?
17.
17? Roll me a d10. Who else?
14.
Oh, no luck, Chaplain, sorry.
30-20.
Roll me a d10. Well done, Bassan. If Zalace is there, as Zalace took the first hour off, I would say. Okay, what'd you get, Ed?
7 on the D10.
7. Yeah, you don't catch any scavers, but you find some small edible fishes, enough to feed 4 people. So you can have some fish tonight, which is good. So that's 4 additional rations that you can add to your inventory. Let's just make it simple and add it that way. We'll keep our crew rations and personal rations separate. Hassan, what'd you get?
A 10.
Fuck, that was quick. You're like, oh, I got something, and then your rod just goes, wow, and you're like, oh shit, and everyone sort of gathers around. They're like, oh, and he's like, and you know how, I don't know if you've ever been fishing, but when like someone catches a big fish and everyone's barking advice, you're like, reel up on it, no, don't give it too much line. You don't want to snap the line. You gotta pull it back. Don't pull it back too much. There's too much tension in the line. You're gonna put this. And you're like, everyone, shut up. And you're like. You're pulling on it, and eventually you pull your rod back, and this gray scabber is going to come up over the side of the ship. I will send you guys a picture of what this creature looks like. I'll send in the roll 20. That is a medium creature. This is as big as you are, Basan. This is a big ass astral shark, basically. Not a lot of you are in there. I'll post it in the Facebook group too, because we all want to see the big fishy.
Be there in like a second.
But you guys see this many fin yeah, it's okay. This mini fin shark with no eyes, but instead has just like this very small, almost like tentacle that grows off the front of its head with a large glowing white eye off the front of it. It is a despicable looking creature, and as this thing appears, okay, I'm putting it in this Facebook chat now. That is a gray scabber. Jordan goes, great, we got one. Wrestle, catch it. And it, someone try and grab it. Basan just pulled it in. Because Ed and Chaplin rolled. One of you two, one of you want to try and grapple it?
I'll try to grapple it.
All right, make me an athletics check to grab it.
Grappling a fish. This is great.
Yep.
Can I give him the help action?
Sure, or you can roll for yourself too if you want.
Okay, I'll just roll for myself.
Yeah, go for it.
19.
19. Well done. 18. You guys. So Basan pulls it up the side of the ship and pulls like a literal fucking like reef shark out of the astral sea and onto the up out of the air and sort of like flops around on the deck for a second before like finding its ability to fly again. And Chaplin and Ed just like football like pile on top of it, and it like wiggling to try and get away. And you guys are holding on to it, you guys will see Jordan sort of come running over with some rope and starts, hold it steady, boys! And he just starts like wrapping it up and like sort of tying it down onto the deck so it can't fly away. And it like sort of like tries to get away and eventually gets kind of tired and just kind of hangs off the side of the ship. And he goes, good job, lads, good job. All right, what do you say we go for one more for safety, huh?
Right.
All right, let's try again.
It goes, too bad that Etherith isn't here. He'd really probably be enjoying all the fun fishing we're having, but instead he'll do potions and such.
Yeah, Etherith and Broadleaf are doing Breaking Bad right now. They're just...
Yeah, you guys are literally whoa, like up in there. Absolutely. Okay, whoever wants to fish for the next hour, roll me some wisdom, roll me some survival checks, everybody. Whoever wants to do some fishing.
Oh yeah. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you're successful. Roll me a d10. Let's see what fish are swimming by. Who else?
14.
Nothing for you, Ed. Sorry, my friend. Just nothing on the line. This on? 18?
16.
16. Very good. Roll me a d10. Let's see what's floating by. Zalace, did you want to roll?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
What's that? Survival, yeah. That's a 10.
A 10. Unfortunately, you're just not catching anything off the side of the ship. It's unfortunate.
I got a
What am
7.
A 7? You will similarly catch a couple of small edible fishes. You can add 4 rations to your inventory if you wish. We'll say Thelma gets those all processed and handed off. Basan,
Rolled a 6.
a 6. You will similarly catch some small edible fish. No successes there, I'm afraid to say. But yeah, you guys are still making rations. That's still very good. Hour 3 rolls along. Let's keep fishing. Let's get another round of survival checks. What'd you get, Slice?
Natural 20 for 22.
Natural 2022. Roll me a d10. Let's see what's swimming by. Well done. Ed?
18.
18. Roll me a d10. Well done. Basan?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it was single digits on the die.
nothing this time, I'm afraid. Yep, sorry. Chaplain?
No, I got an 11 that time.
Unfortunately, nothing for Basan or Chaplain. But Ed and Lace, what did we get? 2?
I got a 2 as well.
You guys both catch some tiny edible fish. And you guys are like, just like little guys, and you guys are like, yay! You take them to Thelma, and she goes, what are you trying to do? You trying to poison us? Oh, these are poisonous fish. You gotta cast them back, put them back out there. You're crazy. And she like finishes her smoke. She goes, wait a second. Wait the goddamn second. Where? She starts like pulling apart the kitchen. She goes, where is it? Where is it? She starts itching her neck. Like literally seconds later, she starts itching her neck. She's like, wait, no. She like shakily drinks some coffee. She goes, where is it? Where are my smokes? She like you see her skin begins to sort of like go flaky and start to burn a little bit. She goes, no. She like lights on fire and disintegrates into a small pile of ash on the ground.
What?
It's canon now.
Yeah, that is canon. That is absolutely canon. That's not a joke.
Did Zella just indirectly murder the cook?
Yep.
I rolled for a complication. There was a complication.
Does that go? Does that tally onto my backwards door?
That count? That should count.
Yeah, you're like you guys are standing there like, what the fuck? And you hear a voice in the back of your head that says, "Good."
Well, that was unexpected. But worked out.
There's no idea. They're still just,
Yeah,
playing
you guys do all hear this like haunting, like my pretties, like you guys all hear this like haunting squeal that sort of rings out through the ship, and I think everyone very quickly becomes aware that the cook disintegrated into a pile of ash.
Broadly, I think we'll both agree to just pretend our ears were non-functional at that precise moment.
Yeah.
Barely.
Just keep. It's like he's got like such a haunted look in his eyes, but he's like his hands are shaking a little bit. He just like keeps.
Careful. Steady hands.
But perhaps 'tis a good time for a break. The walls are closing in. And he just runs out the door and just kind of stands on the deck and just kind of breathes the astral air. Yeah.
Rats, break it is.
Rats. Oh. There is a bit of a pause from the fishing for this happening. I think the paladin will come out of the kitchen like this and be like, so it does seem that she was cursed, that there was a curse upon her that had to do with having to constantly smoke, and if she were to stop smoking for too long, she would literally, well, yeah. Very unfortunate. Um, I don't really know. I did not know Thelma very well, but she always did her job, and she had a presence about her. You always knew when she was walking by. You always knew when she was around the corner. You always knew when she was awake or asleep.
Did she leave any negative kin to notify?
She did not. She did not. So I guess we'll just spread the word of her demise in the Rock Brawl where we found her, and hope someone picks up on that. Um, she will be missed for, well, at least until we find another cook and forget about her. Um, uh,
Yeah, I think in a way she went out how she wanted to go, you know? She she lived by the
yes,
beat of her own drum, and you
she
know,
did.
So I wasn't quite privy. I heard the screaming, but I wasn't quite. How did she go?
Oh, she couldn't find her tobacco, her smoking implements, and she lit on fire and disintegrated into a pile of ash, and sort of shrieked like a dying banshee. I believe was the quote I got from an eyewitness.
I kind of looked at the captain like, I don't think anyone wants to go out that way.
yeah, it's almost symbolic, you know. You live by the
It's like,
flame, die by the flame. You know what I mean?
yeah, but she went out smoking,
Yeah. And
and she
you
will
know,
forever leave a certain smell upon this ship, I think. So I think she would be happy to know that, you know?
yeah. Uh,
I mean, I know it was a bit of not a nice smell, but I mean, whoever did that, well, they should have asked first, really, shouldn't they?
yes.
I
In
could
the
think of
end,
any number of reasons why she would have been cursed. Um, she wasn't she wasn't a kind woman. No, she wasn't
no,
even an approachable woman at that, or one that a person would describe as um, easy to talk to, or someone you'd want to talk to. But well, she did cook very mediocrely, and we will miss that again until we get another cook. I'm gonna go to my room and mourn in my own way.
yeah.
And
You
she just
know,
fucking that's that, and
because
she walks away.
to
You see, yeah.
what was your name again? Uh,
to whatever her name was. And you see the apox, the exopox units in the background, just like sweeping her into like a dustpan. Just like
yeah, make sure you get the corner there. She kind of sensed it. I yeah, she had she would leave a lot of markings everywhere she went, and that was about.
the pox units just sweep her into a pan, and there's a little like, oh fuck it, and they just off the side of the ship into the astral sea. Um, um, and Thorin goes, well, back to work, and he throws some fishing poles around again. Let's go ahead and do some more fishing. Go ahead and roll survival checks for whoever decides to go fishing.
I guess I'll fish because Broadleaf's traumatized again.
Ah,
He's
holy
got like a
12.
fox in his hand. He's like,
Dirty 15.
22.
hey, that's a success. That's a success. Both of you roll me some d10s. Who else?
I only got a 12.
5 is a failure, I'm afraid. So is a 12.
17.
17 is a success. Roll me a d10. Well done. What do our d10s look like?
6.
6 and a 6? 6? Man, you guys catch all kinds of very small, very edible fish. You'll feed up to 4 people. Each of you will get 4 rations. I'll say, we'll say that like Griffin just takes a break, and he'll use some of his druidic magics to sort of alter these into proper rations. So you guys can each add 4 rations to your inventory. Jordan says, "All right, well, why don't we take one more hour and hope we get another scammer?" All right. So let's do one more round and see if we get another scammer. Griffin's gone back to work. Survival checks.
I got a 6 on that survival check.
No good. Sorry.
11.
12.
What'd you get, Ed?
17.
Hey, that's a success. Get a D10. Lace?
16.
That's a success. Get a D10. Everybody else, the fish just start biting out there.
An 8.
An 8. You get 4 small edible fish, so 4 rations to you as well. Ed?
3.
3. You get 1 tiny edible fish. So you get 1 additional ration as well. And Jordan says, "All right, I think that's enough fishing for now, but we got to go find us a Kindori. We've got at least 1 scalver for the druid to work with, but I will personally give a reward to whoever can catch us another scalver. If you can catch another scalver and get it harnessed onto the side of the ship before we find the next Kindori, I will personally hand over a small reward of 5 gold pieces." And that'll be that. Captain Celine, who's like on the Spelljammer helm, she goes, "Sorry, where are we going exactly? I've just been kind of floating around."
Well, we're gonna look for Kandori. Now, do you remember what was the last time we sort of cornered them and found them? Maybe we go back to that area.
Between the outer worlds and the inner worlds again, and the sort of empty spaces.
Yeah. Let's see if we can fish one out of that.
Okay. So we will say that you guys, I'll check how the flying goes. The flying goes very good. You guys are going to take minimal damage from the asteroid field that is around the deep portions of Garden, which Chaplain you'll be able to fix up with a mending without issue. And you guys can begin your space travel. It'll take 3 days to enter into the open portions of realm space between the inner and outer worlds. And then you can start tracking down some Kindori. Hell yeah. So let me go ahead and do a little roll for today. See if any random encounters happen. Nope. You guys all head to sleep. Nope. Nothing bad happens. Next day. Day goes by just fine. There might be some fun things this evening, though. Let me go check on that. All right. Where are you? There we are. Wild space. All right. Someone roll me a D100.
$80.
80. All right. Let's see here. You guys make your way. You guys are pulled out of wild space briefly. You guys do the whole standby situation with the ship coming to. So 8. And they just fly by. It's of no great concern while you guys are asleep on the second day. And yeah, it goes by just fine. Next day, you're in day 3, getting away from everything else. That day goes fine. With 3 days past, you're officially back out into the sort of more void, wider sections of realm space and can start trying to hunt down some Kindori. Okay, Mr. Orr, would you like to give me a check? Why don't we say either an investigation or survival check to to look through the orrery and see if you can't track down any signs of Midori.
Let's go with survival since that's the theme today. That
Right?
is that is going to require some inspiration.
Fair enough.
14.
14, pretty good. You're struggling to find them today. You keep your eye on it and keep looking around, but no sign of any Kindori here on day 4 as you are making your way ever back towards. Where did my pen go? Did I throw it somewhere? I hope I didn't. Oh, there. Oh, no, that's not it. It's fine. But yeah, you guys are making your way. Oh, there it is. Making you guys way back towards the Rock of Brawl and the Rock of Brawl direction. And here on day 4, no Kindori to be found. Was anybody going to try and do a little extra fishing, see if they could catch a?
Sure, I'll try again.
Yeah.
I'll try.
All right, make a survival check. Yeah, make a survival check.
Natural 1. My
Natural
line
one.
gets tangled.
8.
8, nothing. Sorry, folks.
14.
14, not quite. I'm afraid, not quite. Let's see here. How much till food runs out? You guys are on. Well, it's a good thing that you guys have caught so many rations, because when you run out, you'll be good. But it has been 4 days since PCon, which means oh no, you're doing fine. You're on like day 23 right here. Okay, let's see how day 5 goes. Etherith, would you like to make another round of checks?
Sure, let's do this. Come on. 13.
13, struggling to find them. You're not seeing them in your great orrery, and you don't happen upon any today either. Yes.
So because I've linked with the Kindori with the Sonic Whispers.
Yeah.
Just having a quick read of it. It just says that you establish communication between yourself and others. Would I be able to try and use that to see if I can connect to them, or have that going to see if I can find them?
That has like, for one, that's like only lasts for 1d8 hours, and you need to be able to, and it's within like a mile.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that bit within a mile. Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not quite that potent. The ability. Okay, so you were on 4. You guys still got plenty of food. Let's see how day 6 goes. Did anyone want to fish?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Anyone who wants to fish, make a survival check.
Heck yeah. 19.
Very nice. Roll me a d10.
Ooh, 23.
Hey, roll me a d10. Well done.
10.
10.
Yeah.
Ed, your line goes again. You're like, oh, this is it. This is it. I caught another one. And you're like, pulling on it, and you like just find the right grip on it. You pull another gray scaver off the side of the ship, and it comes onto the ship, and everyone is like, who wants to try and grab it?
Yeah, I'll try and grab it.
All right,
I'll
athletics
try.
checks. Oh, it rolled a nat 20 and wants to get away really bad.
Not 20. Not 20. 19.
No, so there are 3 nat 20s in this contest for a total of what? What do we get?
24.
19.
Hold on, is the grapple check survival still?
No, it's grapple. It's athletics.
It's grapple, so it's athletics. Please excuse me. That's significantly better than that's a 28.
Okay. Yeah, Etherith, you like grab it and in full like come on, you're like it goes zip, 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 like out of your hands. It's like a perfect grab, but it's just like perfectly slimy and it gets off of you. You're like, ugh. But Basan, like, it's like going off the side of the ship, but Basan like through the air, like grabs it, goes flying off the foredeck, like body slams it onto the mid deck, just starts going. And they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. And everyone like sounds like, oh god, look at him. And they managed to tie down the scabbard that's like like on the ship having gotten beaten up. And you guys are now the proud owners of two scabbers. And at which point, a bag of 5 gold is handed to you, Ed, from the first or the quartermaster. And he says, "Well done, Captain. You're seems that you're the great fisherman today, huh? Well done."
Oh, let's get this Kidori and wrap this up. Save the whales.
I saved the space whales, celestial space whales. Well done. All right. So here on day 5, that is the end of day 5. Well done. You guys are now proud owner of 2 scabbers. I will say here on day 5, the a griffin comes out with probably Ethrith, and with a vial in his hand, and he'll go, hark, hark! I have found it! I have made it! The cure, the antidote to the poisons of the great beasts. Let us see if it works well. Yes. And he is going to say, well, he's going to say, we must wait till we find a Kindori, but we have us some scabbers here now to aid in the healing. How excellent! How exciting! So he has an antidote ready to go, and you guys have 2 scabbers. Now all you need is a sick Kindori to test it on. Let's see how that goes. Day 6 rolls around. Etherith, would you like to make another check?
Please.
Oh boy.
Okay, you know what? Since I have this feature, I should be using it. I'm gonna use, or is it my magical guidance to use a sorcery point to reroll this?
Hey, there we
go. That is 14 again.
14. Struggling a little over there, Etherith. Struggling a little bit to pin it down. You think you find a blip at one point, and it ends up being a big rock, and you're like, shit. But very close, very, very close. Nothing bad happens out in the astral sea today. Day 6 goes by, day 6 goes by just fine. We find ourselves here on day 7 of looking for Pandori. Go ahead and make another roll, Etherith.
You can just see like Ether, like somehow, despite Ether having like scales and like permanently black like scales, you still get a sense that Ether is starting to look really tired, just really stressed out. I'm gonna have to use the feature again. Please,
You do it.
Just let me have this.
There
There we go, natural 20,
Hey!
23.
You like take the Ori and you're like, fucking, and you like, maybe you have like a moment of big frustration. You like shake it.
By the goddess, if you do not reveal to me where these Kindori are, I will.
Make an intimidation check.
I will spike thee off of the side of the ship.
I shall spike thee off the side of the ship.
I mean, that's a dirty 20 on the intimidation thing.
The Ori goes like, you're like shaking it around. The Ori kind of goes, but stops working for a second. You're like, bye, I can see I will spike you off the side of the ship. And it like is like dim for a second. And then it lights up and kind of shows like a little Kindori pod nearby. You're like, great. And with that, we have our heading, Mr. Gibbs. And you guys can go find you some Kindori. Ed, as the pilot, you want to make me a little piloting check and see if you can steer the ship and find the way to go. I'm going to call this a survival check, because this is about finding the Kindori. I will give you advantage because of Etherith's good works.
Alright. That is a 9 plus 4 for 13.
13. Yeah, that'll suffice. Not terribly hard. You've got the orrery there pointing in the right direction. You wheel around and you are going to find a pod of Kindori. Let's see if there are any. Yes, there are. Come on. Let's see. Okay. You're just kind of wandering around a little indifferent. It is 2 of them in this pod, and they both do look a little sick. They both do have that sort of hickory dripping look, and the plantation sort of growing across its back. And Lyra points it all out to you guys, and you're pretty sure that these are plagued Kandori. So Griffin goes, Hark, a great day! Not a great day. We never want anything to be plagued or sickened in any sense of the word. But finally, we may test the antidote. And he's going to go over to the big fishies you have strapped to the side of your ship, and he is going to begin to apply the antidote. I think Alara is going to take basically like her sword out, and she's going to like start using the light cantrip to signal the Kandori and try and communicate with them, like sort of like a peaceful thing. We're gonna make a little animal handling check as you send your Avengers you've acquired here. It seems that she does seem to signal a Kandori, and they seem to blink back a couple of times. And Alara says, they seem friendly enough for us to approach. We should release the Kandori nearby. Or, excuse me, we should release the Scavers nearby. And Griffin says, good. And he is just sort of like pouring the actual antidote into like the spout on the back of each of the Scavers. And they kind of like whine and wince a little bit with this. Not pained, but almost like a little startled by it. Griffin's very like, it's okay. Shh. There we go. Good, Scaver. And when he's done, the Scaver seems to like, you see that there's almost like, almost luminescently, like appearing on their side, these like almost orange stripes, like a tiger. I think it's like a tiger shark almost. Not too prevalent. Like you wouldn't see it way off, but like on a close inspection, you're like, yeah, you see these like little orange stripes sort of appearing down at the side of its ribs. And then Griffin will cut the ropes, and the Scavers will swim over and away, and then kind of you'll see them sort of circle in the air over to the Kandori and start munching on the fungus and plants on his back. And he goes, there we go. Scavers away, antidote away. All we have yet to do is to watch, and in the morning we will know if the antidote was successful. So let us observe, and then we can report back success.
Here's to that.
There you go. And all you have yet to do is to wait. Hope everything works out well today. Here on your 7th day of Kandori hunting. All right, perfect. Oh, fuck. This is a great time. You guys kind of wait around, kind of nod and shake your head as the Scavers are sort of eating away. In this moment, you're going to see the beauty of the astral sea. You see some streaks of light, some shooting stars, and you just kind of take a moment to enjoy the moment. But then you notice that those shooting stars sort of, as they sort of begin to streak across the sky, they kind of reroute and start making their way towards you guys. There's a little bit of like, oh, what's that? And as they draw closer, you realize they're coming at not you guys, but seemingly the Kandori. And they are moving very quick and with great streaks of flame across them. And as they draw closer, you see that they're not meteors at all. They're actually what look to be almost like, you know, those theater masks, the smile and the sad masks? Almost like that, like a white theater mask with like burning streaks of comet flame firing at the Kandori, about 4 of them at miraculous speed. Jorn, who is very experienced, he'll go, oh, what the fuck? Everyone man your stations! Murder comets! And that's where we'll go to our break.
As soon as I was like, oh no, I know what these are.
Murder comets? That's
Murder comets.
are murder comets.
Murder comets.
Love it.
That's what the old dice told me to do, so that's what I do.
Murder comics. I love it.
Murder comments. Illyria goes, murder what? Are you kidding me? All right, let me just go set the stage.
imagining the death meteors aren't just a one-time star occurrence, you know?
Yeah, this definitely will only happen once.
Like just the universe was like, no, fuck these Kendori specifically.
Fuck these Kendori.
Like,
Yeah, you're lucky they're after the Kendori, not your ship, because holy fuck. Alright. Well, let us at least come to initiative while we will await the return of our fine auto gnome friend. Let's begin. Ah, there he is. I had a feeling. All right, let me throw on a little battle music here. Let's roll some initiative. Let's get to it. I posted a. Let me post a picture of what a murder comet looks like for your viewing pleasure.
I may have someone
Well,
beat
we
you
did.
to it.
1,000 meter. It's true. They are. My boy's wicked fast. So we will treat this as we normally do. We'll treat this as a side initiative. It'll be your ships versus the Kindorian Scavers versus the Murder Comets. So, Captain Ed Jord, if you'd be so very kind, roll me your initiative, and I'll roll for the other two factors.
that's a 6 plus 2 for an 8.
That's an 8. All right. It looks like the initiative is going to be exactly as it is. The Kindori gets to go first. Okay, so first thing I want to do before we get started is where do we think everyone is on the ship at this time? Ed, is it you or Celine behind the wheel right now?
I'm behind the wheel, I would say.
Fair enough. We'll say Celine's on the deck. Get Ed out there. All right. Who else is where, do we think? Who else is somewhere they want to be?
Isan is by a ballista.
All right, son, you see some murder comets coming in, you pick up a ballista. Fair reaction.
I think Chaplin is probably, because the last thing he was doing was mending some light damage to the hull, so he'd probably be below deck, like in the cargo hold, I assume. But maybe making it, if somebody's going to announce that did somebody announce? I can't remember.
Or
But if we're getting called to battle stations, he'd probably start making his way up when it's his turn to move.
Okay, I'm gonna put the exo units in their quarters, aka the junk room, as it's quickly becoming. All right, so we'll say we'll put you in the. Let's put you upstairs, Chaplain. Let's put you in. We'll say you're just coming up out of the hold.
Okay.
So you've just kind of emerged into the cockpit. I don't want to put you too deep in the bowels of the ship. Who else? Zalace, where are you at?
I think I would be on deck somewhere. I don't know about next to a ballista, but I would be just milling about.
All right, and what
I
about
would have been.
Ethruth?
I'll be on deck.
Cool, just on deck. And I think it's the same picture for the NPCs. I think the Dame is up here because she's very interested in the Kindori. Thelma is no more. And Griffin, I think Griffin is similarly on the top deck. He's very interested in Kindori. So that will be our initiative. Hell. Yeah. Okay, so Kandori start. Let us go. The Kandori don't like danger. They're not big fans of danger. It is not something that they are fans of. And the Scavers are just kind of interested in eating, so they're going to stay with the Kandori. So they're going to go sad whale noises. They're going to go about 60 feet over here. Let's call it a dash. They're going to do a little... you know what? I think there might be a little something from at least one of these guys. Yeah, I'll give it a try. Its eye is going to flash in like a blinding, almost camera light. And they're going to do a flashing light and try and blind the murder comet. One of the two murder comets is blinded. But then they're going to do their little stint in this direction. And there's the problem, is the Kandori are a little faster than the Gray Scavers, and they don't really understand what's going on, so they're going to leave. They're going to fly away. So that's going to be 120 feet in this direction for this Kandori with a dash action, and 120 with this Kandori on a dash action. Scavers themselves are hungry and want to keep up, but they're a little bit slower. So this one is going to reposition under the new one. And this one's going to 80 feet this way and try and catch up and not quite get there. The Scaver makes its way through the Austral Sea, but its natural predator comes up on its rear. We will see if it survives the day. That'll bring us to the murder comets. You'll hear Griffin sort of say something. He'll go, "We have to protect the Scavers. They have the antidote in them." The murder comets don't give a flying fuck. So this one is just going to go generally this way because it can't see. It can kind of hear the Scaver, or excuse me, it can kind of hear the Kandori. So it is going to make a Spitfire attack. And it will just generally sort of flare out at about 60 feet and not hit. These guys can see just fine, and they're going to make their full speed towards the Kandori. They're going to do 120. They're going to go 240 to over here to catch up. Things are not going to be very happy for them on their next turn. And that will be that. It brings us to the ship. So, why don't we start with Ed, because Ed is the one who moves the ship, and that determines a lot of what happens next. So, let's start with the ship's movement. Ed, what do you, Captain, want to do to steer the ship?
I'm gonna move the ship towards the Scabbards to kind of keep an eye on them. Maybe get in range for Nave. If I have to like pull them in closer with like one of that teleport spell of theirs. But I'm not gonna quite take us into the fray. Like I'm gonna give us as like range to engage, but like I'm not gonna ride us right into the middle of that. Because, I don't want those murder comets firing onto us. So
range to engage. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so your ship goes 70 feet. So let's take a look at what that looks like. You want to do something like this? Like just do the full, just the basic speed towards the situation?
Yeah. That'll get everyone in range, but keep us quite out of the fray.
Well, why don't we dip your ship down a little bit so that your ballistaman can get a little bit of a better shot too. So,
okay, yeah. Bring me down a level, yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of begin to underneath and give your ballistas a better shot. Fantastic, Ed. Okay. Who else has something they want to do? Basan. Muted.
Are any of the murder comets close enough to shoot?
I would say so. Ballista's got 120, 480. You're gonna be at long range, but yes.
All right.
I'm gonna say Ilara, who is Dame, who is a melee individual, will see you trying to make the ballista work, and she's gonna run over and she's going to do the aim action for you to help your crossbow get into position.
All right.
Or your ballista get that.
And what are these? Are +6, I think.
Yes, these are +6 at disadvantage. You're just aiming for the nearest one.
Yeah.
Well, good news. Tell you what, if you care, this one is within range, but further away. However, it is blinded, so you would have a straight roll against it.
Take it.
All right, straight roll, +6, go for it.
All right. Okay, that's not too bad. 15 plus 6, 21.
21 will hit. Well done. Roll me 3d10 piercing damage.
And then 16.
16 damage. Your ballista fires off. A very long, difficult shot, but you manage to hit as it sails across the astral sea and hits it as it kind of wheels out and then catches itself and keeps going. But you did hit it. Well done. Is there anything else? Ethmith.
How? Yeah, I want to go up the steps so I can get as close as I can to the 3 murder comets that are approaching the Kindori.
Okay, I'm gonna go as close as you can. So you'll run up to the foredeck.
Yep.
And you'll get to about here, no problem.
All right, what's the distance? Please be within range.
Distance from you to murder comets. Closest murder comet is 175 feet.
Oh, that's perfect. And how close the murder comets are to each other?
Let's take a look.
I'm looking for a 40-foot cube, basically.
I think you will get it. They are 24 and 30 feet away, so you'll get them.
All right, I'm going to use distance spell, Master Magic, to cast slow.
Ooh, slow.
Give me a wisdom save for the murder
love
comets.
slow. Slow's great. All right. Failure, failure, and failure. 2s and 3s.
All right, they're all slowed. They have a -2 to their AC, and they have half movement.
That is fantastic. Well done. Great call. They're zipping through space. Oh, yeah.
They can only take an action or a bonus action, not both.
Understood. They're zipping through space at miraculous speed, and in this moment they're on it, still moving pretty good to their credit, but not nearly as blindingly fast as they were before. Well done, Ethmith. All right, good job, sorcerer. Who else has some stuff? Who else?
Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna try to jerry rig a ballista.
Okay, let you run out. Oh fuck, you're up there. Okay, so you've just hopped out, fly through the front door. You have 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you easily get to the main deck ballista if you want to jerry rig that.
Oh, it doesn't want to roll. Oh, dirty 20. So that's a success.
Dirty
so
20, success.
The next time that ballista fires, any damage dice that are rolled as ones can be re-rolled.
Fantastic. Okay, keep that in mind, Zalace. Maybe that's the ballista for you.
That was the one I'll go to then.
All right, I need a minute to sort it out, but I will do that on my own time. Ilara Celine is going to do her old keep the ship working move, and she is going to cast Conjure Elementals, and she's going to summon a menagerie of steam methods to load and aim your ballista for you.
Okay.
And then get out of the way. So go for it. You will be at disadvantage as well.
Yeah, so I want to expend one of the die I've got to use expose weakness.
Okay. Fair enough.
As well, so disadvantage. That's an 18 to hit and disadvantage.
18 to hit at disadvantage. These two guys just stay right out of the way. 18 does hit thanks to slow.
Oh. 13 points of damage. And
Just aiming for the nearest one.
yes, please.
13 points of damage. Fantastic.
Sorry, an extra. Sorry, I need to roll a d8 for that as well.
Yeah.
That's the 7. Sorry, so it will be 20 points in total.
Very nice. Decisive shots off the side of the deck. Well done. So anything else for you, Zalace?
No.
Okay. Let's see. I believe we have been around the track for everybody. Let's see about our resident Archmage or Archdruid. What's he up to? He's very protective over nature. Such a great guy. I don't think he has a lot that goes terribly deep into space. He's no Ephrith. That's for sure. Change challenge rating of 6 or less. Let's check on that. All right, let's see here. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. Let's see. 6 or lower use. Let's do 2. Beasts and rentals. Let's get something for some flight. Okay, he is going to turn into, which I believe are very speedy. Yes, they are. He's going to see this, be a little upset by the whole situation. He's going to turn into an air elemental. Oh man, this always happens. He's a little bigger as an air elemental. And he's going to fly! Fly forward. Hot 90 feet to try and help. Okay. That is going to bring us to the Kindori. Or being attacked, not the Kindori. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Let's see if we get a recharge on the eye. We do not. This one is going to blast these 3 guys with his own flashing eyes. See if he can blind the murder comets. 1 success, 1 failure, and another failure. And the last one succeeds on its saving throw. So this one is no longer blinded. And then this guy is just slowed, so we'll make him green. And then, since we're not in attack range, is going to and then keep flying away. Keep trying to get away. Let's do, yeah, sure. Let's do like 120 feet this way. And this one's going to do 120 feet this way too because it's very scared. Scared and hurt. Scavers are going to try and keep up because it's safe near them. So 80 feet is just going to keep it up with the Scaver. This one, however, is looking a lot more vulnerable than it did a moment ago. Actually, I think it's looking inclined to go away from the Kindori altogether, which is also bad. Murder Comet time. What is the murder comet's going to do? They're a little blind, and they're slow. This one is very fast, however. So I think it's going to try and keep up. Yeah, I think it's going to do a little 120 footer to here, and it's going to do a Spitfire attack on the Scaver. Yeah, it's bent on destruction. So it's going to do a little Spitfire attack at the Scaver. Lucky for you guys, it just misses. The flame licks around the Scaver. No hit. And that's the end of that Murder Comet's turn. These ones, let's see. This one didn't get hit. This one didn't get hit. This one did get hit. And I think these two are just going to follow the sounds of the Kindori because they are a little vocal. They're only going to go 60 feet because they're real slow right now. This one, however, is not so slow and sees your ship, and it likes your ship very much. So it's going to fly over here, dip down. So it's going to fly to your druid, 85. And then it's going to go another 35 down like so as well. Sort of. Oh, I messed that up. Good. Hang on. I think it's just going to do a straight descent so as to get away from potential pointy things. All right, so it's going to do a slam and Spitfire attack against the air elemental that was your druid. The slam attack will hit. The Spitfire will not. How do air elementals take damage? Resistant to non-magical bludgeoning damage. That is going to be 7 reduced to 3 damage of bludgeoning. And fire. It's going to be 5 points of damage of fire. I should describe it better because you got. Oh yeah, go ahead, Ethan.
Didn't you say all 3 murder comets failed the slow save, but one of them succeeded the blind save?
No, only 2 failed, unfortunately. This guy succeeded, which is why he's turned around. I should describe it better because none of you've seen an air elemental before, so it's pretty cool. You see this moment, this sort of hermity, kind of unsure of himself druid. He's sort of in a little bit like the old 60s Superman, a little bit, where he spins around. But he'll spin around himself and his body just transforms into a cyclone of air. And he just starts firing through space towards his enemies. And then the murder comet just sort of powers through him and continues on, blasting flame as he goes. That is our murder comets. These guys get 1 attack each, so they will take it. They're going to shoot Spitfires at the tail of those Kindori. They don't get 2 attacks because they are slowed. One is a terrible, terrible miss. Hits his buddy, but he's immune to fire, it seems. The flame sort of emanates his friend, but he doesn't seem to care terribly or even notice. The other one does make contact. The 21 to hit Kindori is going to take 20 points of fire damage as it wails in pain. Poor Kindori. That is going to bring us to the ship's turn. So, let us say once more, start with our captain. Ed, do you have any plans for movement for the ship this turn?
I don't think I'm gonna move inward, but I'm maybe gonna take a less front face. How am I positioning wise? How's everyone's range? And where are my scabbards?
One of the scabbers has fallen behind and is actually just kind of departed from the Kindori, try and run away in another direction. and is kind of being attacked by this murder comet. The other one is just barely hanging out underneath the tail of the Kandori and is about to be left behind, probably on his next turn. They're not nearly as fast.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stay towards the outer like rim of this field and get closer to the one that's trying to leave, where like we can have it in sight, and we can also have the rest of the comets in sight and the Kandori. So kind of like going clockwise from where I am right now.
Clockwise from where you are right now. So you want to like go like over here, basically?
Yeah. That way we can
Got it.
keep that scabbard that's trying to run within eyesight.
Okay,
And,
let's see if I can't make that happen.
We can also keep everyone in the field there.
So you want to do something like this, kind of?
Yeah.
All right, you start making your way around the combat zone to get into a better position.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think here. So there, and then there would have been some. Let's see what it got. So I think there was a little of this action going on too to get around, because those guys were over there, and you went around. You turn. It's fine. This is fine. Okay, fantastic. You start wheeling around and trying to get a good angle on the last scabber. Good job. All right, who's got stuff to do? It is worth noting that first and foremost, Celine's steam methods are on standby at all ballista points, and they have aimed and loaded everything. All right, Basan, you want to take another shot?
I would like to take another shot.
All right, who's getting it?
Can I get the one that I've already hit?
Let's see. What's the one you already hit? That one is run off to try and kill the scaver.
And I'm gonna hit the one that's closest to us.
All right, that one. Yeah, you're in a straight roll for that guy.
Roll that. That's nat 20.
Hey, well done. Well done. Go ahead and roll me 3d10 plus 30. Ouch.
$11, 15. So 30 for 45.
35. Sorry, 35, that's it?
Okay, so it was, yeah, I got a 10, a 1, and a 3. So it's 14 plus 30. The 30, 44, I'm sorry, 44.
44, there we go.
My bad, I apologize.
No, you're totally good. 44, this thing flies down, and your captain just gives you just like the perfect angle, and you wheel it around with the help of the method, and you just blast right through its stupid head with this ballista bolt, dealing significant damage, and that thing is like almost shimmering, like it's having trouble holding on. You get the sense that it is very, 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 very damaged, very hurt. Well done. Okay, who else has got something?
Let's see, how far is it from us?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
If an individual would have 2 attacks in combat, would they have 2 attacks here with the quadrige?
Right, the quadrige. We forgot about the quadriges, didn't we?
We don't all have quadriges, but Delace does. And that would give him potentially 2 attacks? Nope.
That's
Shit, we need to
true.
switch.
Yeah.
Chris, it would
Yeah.
give me 2 attacks.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come to that in that moment. I think Ilara's gonna try and, because you guys are all long range and she's short range, so maybe she'll try and do a little maneuver here. She's gonna run over. She's gonna jump off the side of the ship. Whee! How far does she go? She goes pretty far. So she gets, yeah, that's about right. She's gonna go about 14 feet. She's gonna fall. Yeah, you know what? She gets to about here. She goes, I can't make the jump. And maybe she'll shake her fist a little bit because she's a fucking a melee warrior. And I think that will be it for, unless she's got a spell, which she doesn't. Oh, I know what she'll do. There we go. We figured it out. She's going to jump off the side, and in midair, she's going to Misty Step, and she is going to appear on top of it, and she's going to bring her blade down and try and end the creature. That's going to be. So it is not enough, but she has 2 attacks, so she'll get her second. That will do the job. So she swings once, the comet sort of shoots out of the way, and as she's falling down, she kind of swings upward and catches it. That's going to be 2, 4 is going to be 6 damage, which is enough. And that is Murder Comet is no more. And then Alara is going to fall down into the gravity and just sort of like float there, basically. And that will be Alara's turn. Who else?
Try. Let me see if I'm in range of anyone. That'll be a good start. I think to check.
Absolutely. Okay, we've got 165 feet at closest.
160 at closest.
I'll say 160.
That really sucks for me.
You could always try and do something tricky, like run out onto the front of the stab thing on your ship.
I mean, the trouble is, I mean, I can't. If I try and Misty Step, that's a leveled spell use. That's not going to work. I didn't mean how much more do I get if I run to the edge if I run to like the point of the ship?
If you run to the railing, that's an extra 10 feet off, so that would be like 155 feet.
I need to get to 120. That's the most I can. That's the maximum I can do if I want to actually hit anything.
Got it. 5. It'd be like 15 to there, and then you could try a little like 15 run out to there, which would require a little acrobatics. But at that point, you would be still 140.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it.
Sorry to say. Or well, we could circle back.
You know what?
There is a ballista at the back. You could fire off. It doesn't hurt.
Sure, I'm not proficient in this, but let's do this.
All right. So you're gonna run. You might need a little Misty Step to get there, but you can. You can run 30 feet to here, and then I think your Misty Step would get you right to the ballista if you wanted to.
Yep, that works for me.
All right, you get there. All the rabbits and weasels and foxes all scatter. The Mephit swings the ballista around for your benefit. It's going to be disadvantage, but you can still take the shot.
All right, I need to bring up the. I'm not used to using these, so.
It's all good. I can let you know. You got a +6 to your attack roll. Disadvantage.
Sick. That's 12.
That's 12. Unfortunately, your ballista sails off into wild space. These things are fast, even with their slow.
Rats.
Ah, man. Okay. Is there anybody else? Celeste, do you want to take a shot?
Let me get that. Let me get that ballista again real quick with the
Yeah.
jerry rig.
Jerry rig the ballista.
Mm-hmm. All right, success 21.
21. There you go. Celeste, you want to take a shot?
Yeah. What we got?
Okay. You got one at 195, so that is disadvantage.
Alright, I'm gonna go use another power die, and I'm gonna go for disabling shot.
All right.
No, that doesn't matter. Nat one on that. Oh no, I get
Ooh.
reroll. Yes. Way.
Okay, cool. Fantastic.
Okay. It's not going to make a difference anyway. So that was 15 at disadvantage.
15 is a little shy. Even with their slow, they're still very fast. It's hard to catch them. Nice try, though. Ballista sails off. Who else we got? Etherith is struggling to find an angle. Why don't we at least put Etherith to... Oh, you already shot your Ballista. There you go. Lara took her attack. Yes, the Archdruid will continue to fly in to try and help. He's got a 90-foot speed, so we're going to do 180 over to here and just sort of fly right into the comet, catching it in its wind turbine. And that will be that. That will be that. I don't think I have anything else. Joran's just going to... Oh, I forgot all about Joran. Joran's just going to do what Joran does. He's going to start shouting, and he's going to go, all right, I know we've got some of the best ballista men on this ship in all of realm space, and I want to say it. And he's going to start shouting out leadership, and he's going to grant a D4 to, I believe it's all attack rolls and saving throws, if I'm not mistaken. I'll go double check real quick.
Yeah, I think it is because that's what we had the last time. I've got it right.
I will give you... No, go ahead and take the D4, because it's all, we're playing a little loose. So roll that D4 on your attack rolls, please.
A 3, so what was that? 18.
18 will hit. 18 will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. I think you were a little low at Rith, even for the D4, if I'm not mistaken.
Remember to
0 is a
reroll
10,
on it.
isn't it? Yes. So 10, 18, 21, 27.
27. Impressive damage.
And
and you're...
with the disabling shot that it was, it's now has disadvantage on its next ability check or attack roll.
Understood,
Yeah,
man. You guys are kings and queens of debuff around here. These guys are having a hard time getting anything done. Very well done. As I believe that is everybody on the ship at that point. Celine actually technically hasn't done anything. But she's a little far off to do anything, if I'm not mistaken. How far are these guys? 150. She just saw that fire doesn't hurt them, so you can't do that. How far are they up? 100 and... Sort of. Yeah, she can't do anything. She'll start crowding the foredeck though, and prepare to get something done on her next turn, hopefully. Yeah. Oh, she'll of course she will. She'll vortex warp girlfriend back onto the ship. Sweet.
Sorry, as a movement, can we just clarify whether the Quadrich is able to do 2 shots in a go?
Sure. I believe that's on yours, is it not?
If it is, then that's fine. I'll swap with the song, seeing as we haven't used any movement.
Got it. So you two want to just... Got it.
Yeah.
With your cunning action, there's no issue getting there, Zalace. Basan, a little further for you. 10, 15. Now you're fine. You get there. Yeah, so you guys swap out. Fantastic. This is my ballista. That's your ballista. Yeah,
You went for the wrong one first.
there you go.
I thought.
It's not my fault. Incredible. The Kidori are largely unaware of the situation or what is happening, and they're not terribly smart. So they're going to. They see that you're here to. Oh yeah.
Would using my Sonic Whispers be an action, or is that just like, or?
I believe it's an action. If I'm not mistaken.
Alright, I've misplaced it. Yeah, it is an action. Don't worry then. Okay.
Okay. They are going to turn, and they're not too smart, but they're smart enough to recognize that you're here to help. So they're going to take their dash action over here and try and basically hide behind your ship, or start moving towards hiding behind your ship. What the fuck just happened? Damn, they just... What the hell? Oh, I know what happened. Ah, fuck. Okay, the battle's gonna get a little crazy for a moment. Just don't worry about it. I gotta delete it later. Don't worry about all this junk. I'll get rid of it. But yeah, starts getting out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting rid of that. But for now, let's keep up with the combat. Scaver's gonna keep trying to follow. It's gonna do its little 80 feet here, starting to get left behind. It's gonna go a little wide because it doesn't like your ship very much, but it does like the Kindori because they have lots of tasty treats on their back. This one is like getting the fuck out of Dodge. This one does not want to be here anymore. It does not give a fuck about the Kindori. It gives a fuck about living. So it's going that way. Murder Comets. I'm going to give a little wisdom saving throw to see if those guys can end it on themselves. What's your DC, Ethreth?
16.
They cannot. So those guys will remain slow. And they are going to... are they still blinded? This one is no longer blinded. The one that was attacking your ship. Oh, it died. Oh, so everyone's still blinded. Great. They can hear the Kindori, so they're going to follow the Kindori. 60 feet, like so. And they're going to take some blind shots, I think. They're just within range. So they're both at disadvantage because they're blind. Miss and a miss for these comets over here as they try and shoot flames, but they're just too damn slow to get anything real done. This one over here is going to do a slam attack because I don't believe this thing's got anything going on. No, this is just a standard murder comet. It's going to take a slam attack against the Windy Boy and miss, and is going to do a flyby, not provoking opportunity attacks. And I think it's going to, in choosing between the big whales and the little shrimp, I think it's going for the big whales. It likes big destruction. It's going to fly this way, and it's going to careen past for... Oh, it can't dash, never mind, because it just attacked. So it's going to go to start making its way over here, sort of screaming and laughing as it goes. And it is not nearly close enough to get... Oh, it might be. Yeah, it's just close enough. It'll get its second attack off. It's going to do a Spitfire at the Kindori, which will hit for 21 to hit. That is going to be... it's going to be 13 points of fire damage to Kindori. It wails in distress as it is being harmed. This is a sick Kindori. It's not as strong as they're usually supposed to be. And that is the Murder Comet turns, which will bring us back to the ship. What is the plan, Mr. Jor?
Okay, so it's looking like we're having a little trouble with range, right?
That's right.
Well, I don't know now that they've moved. Depends on how far they are. I mean, for a normal shot, it's 120 to be in range.
Yeah, 120 to be in range.
The one that's gone, how gone does he look? Like, The
one that
stab.
the scabber. It looks healthy. It's just scared,
All right.
and it
I
isn't being
am gonna
harassed anymore.
turn and more frontward towards the gathering of that clump of three of them over there, and I'm gonna get closer and more into into the fray than before. So kind of like a tighter going in there.
Into the thick of it.
Yeah, yeah. That way we can really let off a good barrage or two.
So I want to point your nose at these guys over here. I
Yeah.
figured out a little trick to make rotation easier.
Yeah, and then just press forward
And then press
enough
forward.
to have an opening if I have to get away, but tighter than before.
So I want to do like 70 like that so that your
Yeah,
ship is getting right. Maybe even bump them up a little larger so that you can get a better angle on attack.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, you kind of you swing closer and kind of dive under and closer to try and get a good angle for your ballistamen. Let's put you down a little bit. You're getting a little too high, and you would know that. So you don't need to go that high, and you could get closer if you wished. So you're not going as far down. Okay, that's about right. Incredible. All right, ballista users, you wanna ballista away?
You can
Why
go.
don't we? Why don't we start with you, Zalay, since you're at the very front? You are well within range at this point of any one of them.
All right, I'll go for the
You have advantage on these two because they're blind.
yeah. Okay, I'll go for the middle one.
Okay.
And I'm going to use sharpshooter on this.
All right. Fantastic.
Natural 20.
Ooh, natural 20 sharpshooter. This is going to hurt. Go ahead and roll some damage. 3d10 plus 30.
Oh, that's fine. 13. So
43.
plus my 10.
Right, so 53 damage. That is no small amount of change, my friend. You fire up at it, and the bolt just rips through it, and it's probably like one solid attack away from being taken out. That was a good shot. Well done. Hassan, you want to follow up?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead, and you are not the one that Zalace just hit, but the other one. You would have advantage against. The one Zalace hit, you would have a straight roll against, and the last one you would have disadvantage on. Oh no, never mind. You would have a straight roll against that one as well.
So I need a ruling as to whether or not I get 2 shots on the quadrangle.
I believe that's what the quadrangle does, is that it eliminates the load property. So yes, you would get 2 shots.
Alrighty then, go. The one I get advantage on one, I'm gonna go that one first.
Okay, go for the one with advantage, sure.
And that will be a 16.
A 16 does not hit, I'm afraid to say. They're a little fast, even with slow.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and go for the other one.
All right, go for the other one. The one heavily damaged. Straight roll.
That is an 18 on the dice plus 6, 24.
24 will hit. Roll me some damage. 3d10.
Oh, so that's 26.
26 damage. That is a very dead murder comet. It gets hit by Zalaces, and then another bolt sort of flies past it, and one comes very quickly thereafter and takes it out. That is a murder comet no more. There are only 2 left. One is blind, one is still fully capable.
How far away is the injured Kandori?
Injured Kindori is from you, Chaplain, 130 feet away. You can close that distance. Oh, Basan, you missed your first attack. Roll an extra d4 on it because of leadership.
That is right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. It was a 3, so that was a 16 plus a 3.
That'll hit.
3d10?
Yep, 3d10.
Holy shit, that's a 10, a 6, and a 9. No, that's 6, 6. That's 10, 6, and 6. So 6 and 6 is a 12.
25.
Yeah, okay, that.
25, well done.
And
All right.
I think I can cripple it. I need to check my sheet real quick, but I have a thing that I can do.
Jorn's leadership as he comes over, and in very Gimli fashion, he goes, "Mind your aim!" And you hit.
I'm going to. Is that one of the ones that's? Did I hit the one that's slowed?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Then
blind.
it's slowed and blind. Well, now it's about to be disabled. Too. I'm going to hit it with a disabling shot.
Okay.
So whatever it hits next, it will do so with disadvantage.
Understood. Okay. Fantastic. Well done. All right, Chaplain. Sorry. Finally, your bet. What would you like to do?
No, that's okay. How far away is the closest murder comet?
Closest murder comet is 120. Yeah, they're both 120 from you.
Okay. They're all still like 100 feet away. All right. I will, I'm just going to go ahead and try and jerry-rig the ballista again.
I will say you could close that distance down to like 95, maybe even less feet if you run to the foredeck.
By moving. That's all right. That's still gonna leave me about 5 feet short. It's fine. It's fine. I will jerry-rig again. The ballista that I'm already on, so I think that's on the Bison's on now.
That is true.
Let's see what we get.
You can take over the one I'm on.
18 is a success. So it's good. Based on the next time you fire that ballista, if you roll a 1 for damage, you get to re-roll that one. Any one that you roll.
Thank you.
Stings. Okay, well done. Etherith, do you have anything, my friend?
How far away are these murder comets?
All right, let's find out.
Little old me.
From your ballista, you would be at disadvantage. Oh, you'd be at a straight roll for the blinded one, disadvantage for the other.
Is there a way for me to walk closer to get within 120 feet?
Yes, obviously not with the ballista, but let's see 120 feet. Yeah, you could get to 120 on the main deck.
Yep, let's do that, because I want to see if I can score a fun little spell.
10, 10, and you run over here as the method gets out of your way. Sort of flutters over to here. And I think that is 120 for you. Yep, that's just barely 120 in advantage.
Okay, so how far are the minute comets from each other? Like, what's the gap?
Not far at all. They're sticking close together. They are 20 feet from each other.
Is that enough for a 10-foot sphere?
A 10-foot sphere? I don't think so.
is in between. Can I
think-
somehow place in between the two?
I think you could, but I think that would be a little far to hit the center. Yeah. Let's check it out, though. Let's check it out. It's possible. Anything's possible. Oh, fuck. That might be... This one might not. Yeah, I think you're a little kiboshed for this one, I'm afraid.
In that case, I'll aim at which one's looking weaker then.
Definitely the blind and slowed and bloodied one.
I'll aim for that one, and I'll cast or upcast Wither and Bloom. Give me a con save, please.
All right, con save it is. That is going to be, for once, a good roll with 22 to save.
Okay, it saves.
It'll take half, I believe, though, yes?
Yes, and I'm going to make use of my staff to re-roll one of the damage die.
Hey, very nice.
Because it's necrotic damage.
Necrotic damage. Hecate feels very happy.
Alright, in that case, that is 12 necrotic damage halved.
12 halved to 6. That is a very hurt murder comet. Needs one hot blow to be blown away. Very close.
I will end my turn there.
All right, fantastic. I think we've hit everybody at this point. So let's see what the NPCs are doing. Laura is not very happy that she's ineffective. Celine, you're my magic missile girl. Yeah, you know what she's going to do? She's going to do a 4th level magic missile. So that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. She's going to send, how many? She's going to send, let's say 3 to each. She rolls max damage. So that's going to be 5 each. So it's going to be 15. That is a murder comet no more. And this one's going to take 15 damage as well. Okay. I probably should start rolling them all singularly, huh? 1, 4, 2, 6. That's still take them out. Subtract 3. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, oops. There we go. Okay. And then Alara is just going to look very worried because she can't do much to help in this situation. Not much at all. Okay, that's going to bring us back to the Kindori. We're going to just keep trying to get away. 120. 120. Oh, these ones. Nope, no flashing eyes returned. I gotta see if this guy is still slow. He is, and if he's still blind, he is. His life sucks, and that's that. But it doesn't matter because he's not here anymore. There's just one murder comet left, and that murder comet wants to murder. So it turns around, looks at your ship, goes, I'm gonna get that ship. And it's gonna fly straight down to the underbelly of your ship. And you're going to hear some smashing sounds below deck as it is going to start slamming and blasting the side of your ship. It's going to do a slam attack, that's a nat 20, and a Spitfire attack, which hits with a 22. These creatures are siege monsters, and thus they deal double damage to all objects and structures. Your ship is considered a structure. This is why they're called murder comets, because they don't murder you, they murder your ship, and then space murders you. Here we go. This is going to be a lot of damage. I'm actually going to get a little one of these guys to track your ship. Fucking lay down. Put it down. Work. Oh, they're all on the wrong. Oh, this. God. Whatever. Struggling. Sorry, folks. Okay, let's do this. Slam attack was a crit and a siege attack. So that's going to be, that becomes 18, which then becomes, or 6 becomes 12, which becomes 24. So 24 bludgeoning damage to your ship initially. And then the fire attack is going to be 11, which becomes 22, which becomes 44. Your ship takes 44 fire damage on top of it. And then the Spitfire attack hit for 11, which becomes 22 additional damage. As it flies at your ship, it goes, and your whole ship sort of lurches in the moment as it takes a devastating near 100 points of damage in one blow. Your ship is pretty hurt. It's under a third of health immediately. And with that, it's your party's turn. There's nothing to shoot out there, but there are people to kill downstairs. Who's going to help? Zalace.
Right, so can I go? I want to use my movement and my cannon action to move 50 feet to the side of where that murder comet went to try and get in range.
Okay, so
if I have to jump off the side, I'll jump off the side.
Yeah, you probably got to jump off. So you run over to the side and you just fucking hit that American Eagle and fly off the side of the ship. Very cool. Use your back cloak and everything. So 10 feet to the side of the ship, jump off the ship. That's just fall at that point, so no speed needed. And you're gonna land in the gravity plane. So let me arrange that for you. You're gonna land about here at 30 feet, where you just kind of start bobbing. I think it's hard to demonstrate, but per doing 100 points of damage in one shot, there is a hole in the side of your ship, and it is inside your ship. But yes, you could sort of move across the side of your ship and jump inside. So that was 10. I'll say at the end of your initial, we'll say that you've spent 30 feet so far, and you are inside the ship in the companionway, and it is like here about to start banging shit up as you sort of appear through. So you have spent one dash at this point. Is your choice if that was your action or bonus action?
Yeah, that's fine. So he's within 60 feet, so I'm going to use my psychic blade, which is 14. That's not going to hit.
14, no, it is moving much too fast. You shoot, it hits the wall, and it keeps moving. You tried to compensate for its speed, but you are not quite precise enough. I believe that is it for Zalace. Who else? Yep, Chaplain?
Yeah, I will, I heard that banging into the bottom of the ship. I want to check what's going on down there. So I would run to, I guess, the whatever it is, the door or the stair or whatever that goes down. But I'm not going to go down myself. I'm going to invoke my duplicity down the stairs wherever I can see.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, you invoke duplicity down the stairs. Duplicity Chaplain is standing right there. Despite all the lurching and banging, all of the exopoxy units are just kind of standing there, just like not really doing too much. What do you do? What does your duplicity do?
Can I? It can't see. Oh, I can't see. I guess I have to come down the stairs a little bit, so that I can kind of.
You got 30 feet.
Yeah.
So I'll say at 30 feet, you get to the bottom of the stairs. You're not around the corner, but I'll say that you can peek around and see the murder comet banging around.
All right. And how far is the murder comet from Duplicity Chaplain now?
It is about 35 feet.
Um, I'm going to go ahead and the duplicity is going to cast has it been hurt yet, the murder comment?
I believe so, yes.
All right, let me toll the dead, that bad boy.
Tool the dead. It rolls a 5.
Oh, nice. The saving throw was a 15, so that's a fail. Um Oh, I rolled the wrong dice. Give me 1 second. 13 damage.
13 damage. 13 necrotic damage to the murder comet. Well done. It still seems to be quite strong, but as your bell goes off, it is bloodied.
You know what? I'm sorry, I take that 13 damage back. I can't do that.
Oh, that's right.
I used my action to cast a duplicity. I got a little carried away with myself. Okay, I will use my bonus action to move the duplicity, which I can do. Directly forward toward the murder comet.
Okay, it's going to move 30 feet towards the murder comet. And it gets right in the melee.
Yep, there we go. All right. That is action, bonus action, and movement for my turn. So I'm finished.
Fantastic. Let's see here. Just gonna check something real quick. Put you up there. Just checking something super quick. Don't mind me. Okay, it's the same. Okay, it's the same. You see all of the yellow eyes are sort of like blinking amongst them. Unit 1 looks at you, Chaplain, and goes, "Should we engage with the enemy?"
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. Go get him.
He will put his hand up, and then all of the, in complete synchronicity, the other 5 units are all going to go with their javelins, and then he will go, and then they will all throw their spears down the way. See how that goes. That was 19. Attacks coming in are 5. Attack bonus and total, which is going to be about 6. They all, it's sort of it misses. They all miss because it's really fast, but one of them does actually hit, dealing 5 damage. And then they're going to take another set of javelins off, and they're going to do the same thing, and only one will hit again, and they'll do another 5 points of damage. Let me check that to make sure that does happen. Oh, actually, another one gets a shot in. So that'll be another 6 damage. Hell yeah! So they do a little chip damage. They make up for the lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Unit 1, however, is a little bit more capable. It's going to come around here, and you're going to see his hand actually goes into his arm, and a long sword is going to shoot out of his hand. Very almost like the Deadpool we don't talk about from that one movie. Very like that. And it's going to start marching down the hallway with its shield in hand, and that'll be its turn. Who else Who else wants to try and help?
Me.
You. Okay, let's start with you, Ethra.
Is this maneuver possible? I'm hoping to jump off the same way that Zealous did and then Misty Step through the hole.
Okay, let's give it a shot. You are a little further back than he was. 10. That'll be 20, 30. So you're at the end of your movement there. You could try and Misty Step to like here and then like fall and like see through the hole. You wouldn't be able to get inside, but you wouldn't be able to see through the hole.
If I could see the bird comet, I'll take that.
All right, fantastic. So you do this, you're going to hit the gravity plane, and you're going to sort of bounce up and down a little bit, and you will be looking directly through the hole and see the murder comet in the hallway.
Okay, I'm going to go with Sacred Flame and see how that goes. So Dex save, please.
Oh, they're pretty dexterous.
It's either that or trying to hit 20 AC, and I have a feeling that's not going to work.
Lucky for you, it rolled a nat 1, so it will take that Sacred Flame just fine.
Cool. That is 12 radiant damage.
That's not bad. 12 radiant damage is good work. It is a very hurt murder comet at this point. It's not got a lot left in it. Well done, Etherith. What of the captain? What of... I could let the NPCs go take some turns. Does anybody else have anything they want to do? Hassan? Yep.
Hassan would like to follow Chaplin's duplicate down as opposed to going around through the hole in the ship.
Got it. 10 feet gets you there. And then 30 feet gets you down below.
All right.
So you're kind of standing.
If I need to take a dash action.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need a dash action because Chaplin's standing at the bottom of the stairs. So get to the bottom of the stairs. So now you're at. Okay, you get to here. So it's 30, 35. You're now at 40 feet here. You got 20 feet left. And you can see the murder comet right there.
Bunch of people in my way, huh?
Bunch of people in your way.
So do I have any movement left?
You got 20 feet left.
How far is it from me to that thing?
How far is it from you to that thing? It is 30 feet.
All right, so it took my dash action to get where I am, question mark, or I still have...
Yeah. You still have 20 feet left, but you got to there with your dash.
So what I'd like to try to do is run up the walls along the side and put myself in front of it.
You can certainly try. I don't think it's going to affect your movement because the ceilings aren't very high down here, but you can certainly try. Make me an acrobatics check. Try and bound down the hallway. Make it look real cool.
I'm reasonably good at this. Oh, fuck yeah. That is a 14 plus 8. 24? 22. Shit. God, I'm too bad at math. But yeah.
Sorry, 14 plus 8. That's 22, yeah. Okay. Like in the beginning of Casino Royale, where James Bond's chasing that one guy who has like the crazy fucking parkour skills, and he like jumps through this like tiny slot in the bottom of the wall and keeps going. You like run and like get your foot notched on the handle of the kitchen door, and you like throw yourself. So you basically like do like a full dive where you get through like this basically tiny space between the head of the Warforged Unit 1 and the roof, and you kind of just narrowly get through and go into a roll on the ground. And you are going to roll ahead. You didn't really have a plan for Chaplin, but luckily for you, it's an illusion. And as you appear here, you're good to go. You're in business at the end of your movement.
Well, the Sun Sword. Ready for next round. That's what I got.
You got an action surge.
I do have action surge. Let's hit this thing. Thank you.
The fighter who doesn't remember they have action surge.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. It's no problem.
Wait. I'm still getting used to it. All right, yeah. So let's hit this bad boy.
All right. The unit 1 goes kill steal. Noted.
All right, so that was 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
I am using it two-handed right now.
Go for it.
So that is 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. 12 radiant damage. How would you like to kill a murder comp? Kill.
Kind of flourishes the blade once and cuts it right through it, and as it does, it just into nothingness.
Hell yeah. You jump over, you go into this barrel roll, and as your heel comes down over your head and the momentum's about to put you up, your blade's already out. As you thrust forward the blade, as your hand comes forward, and you go into this like uppercut slash as you prepare to take your second attack, as you were shown by the commandant. As you're like already prepped for the second shot, there's a slight burn slash mark across the roof. We're not perfect yet, but we're damn close. And the murder comet is slashed in twain, and it explodes. It literally explodes. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Forgot about this feature.
That is a 7.
17, got it. That is a save. I need one from Zalace and from Unit 1 as well. Unit 1 rolls in that one. It goes, uh-oh.
17.
Roger. 17, that's a save. Okay. That is going to be 31 points of damage to Unit 1 and 15 to the rest. Unit 1 is on the ground on death saves. Your ship took 62 points of fire damage because it is a siege monster. Boy, aren't you glad that they were attacking the Kindori and not your ship? Because that would have been really bad. Your ship is still alive, but for all intents and purposes, bloodied. And that is the show, my friends. That is the show. Murder Comet's defeated, battle completed. You hear the Final Fantasy song, and hell yeah, the Kindori are saved. Well done.
Ed's going after that freaking the shark. We got money on that shark. We gotta collect that thing back.
They're desperately trying to swim back into the ship.
It will not be hard because the ship will just go full throttle, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
and they'll probably actually like knock the legs out from under you, and they'll kind of like roll into the side of the ship. So you find yourself in the you quickly find yourself in the companionway, Ethrith, and the ship will go after the scaver and be going, and very quickly, I think what will happen. I'm gonna say that your druid is going to basically like shepherd this thing around, gets back on the shift, turns into himself, and he's gonna turn into like basically a larger scaver, or some other kind of some flying beast, and he's gonna start corralling the scaver back towards the Kindori. Yeah, it's safe. It was just scared. The good news is that there's a lot of space out there, so it's not like it can go very far or hide behind it. You get it back to the Kindori. The Kindori follow your ship as they feel safe near you guys. And you guys can all celebrate your victory and find some rest. Find some much needed rest after that explosion, and perhaps repair a little of the ship, which we will deal with next week. But as we come to the end of our session, when you rise from your rest, you will return to see that all that black ichor is just kind of sort of hardened on the side of its cheek. It's not actively spilling anymore. It seems to have a little glow return to its eyes. It's not beginning to blind anymore. And it seems that your antidote has worked.
Yay.
Griffin has the recipe to bring back to the Church of Selune on the Rock of Baral. Your mission is successful so long as you can get those antidote pages back. And let's level up.
Woo!
Woo!
Good job, guys. You saved the Kandori. You're basically have saved the Kandori. You're almost there.
Wow. We know how to do it. Let other people sort that out now.
That was awesome.
I do
Yeah.
love leveling up.
I do love it
I
when a
get
plan
Flash
comes
of
together.
Genius now.
Oh, I fucking hate Flash of Genius.
I love Flash of
Oh, I hate Flash of Genius.
And I think I get
It-
more. Oh, yeah,
I
get
don't
one-
mind it. I don't mind it so much. Its function. I hate that there's just no flavor to it. It's just like there,
Just
you're
fart,
better.
bitch.
You're just there you go.
A 4th level spell.
I think like your idea of like Ed hitting the bottle, I'm kind of ran with it. He's gonna have like a Leahy from Trailer Park Boys like breakthrough. That's gonna be a Flashes of Genius. Like,
Or you just syringe everybody. You have like a syringe gun. You like shoot them. And it's just like a hot. And everyone's like, stop shooting me with random syringes.
I think the beauty